You in the home still?
Hold up. Yeah, I can never doubt myself, I know better. All of you critics be acting like you know better. Blowing the smoke, but I know when the dust settles that I'm in my element. It's evident that there's levels to the game. Take it out, got me feeling like rain. I ain't never need your help. I know you wishing me well. A penny for your thoughts, but seeing no change. I snap for the sun like Diddy. The riches got a mad ass son. I'm like Billy. I ain't never switch up. Whole team with me. Putting on for my city like OAGZ. Set the pace as long as you finish. Consumers find a way inside your business. Babble if they try to dabble in it and they hate the fact that they may have to witness. You tryna aim for the top like this, and you're in your element with a fire like this, and they hoping you fall and they praying you miss, but it's all in the risk. I got you with the switch, you know. I'm in the zone. Give me the throne. One shot, that's all that you got. That's all that I know. Foot on the gas. 155 on the road. You can be a friend of me, an enemy. Keep that same old energy. I'm in my element. I'm in my element. I'm in my element, ooh, yeah. I'm in my element, ooh, yeah. Keep that same energy. I'm in my element, ooh, yeah. I'm in my element, flow is like water. I'm forced through the fire, I'm feeling like gold. Gotta stay grounded, stay down to earth, following God, and you grinding, you do as you told. I don't work to make you like me, but I'm front and center, word to Spike Lee. And God came in the nick of time. They think I'm crazy, well I might be. Let's run it up, run it up, run it up. We beating the odds, this is sum it up. You know it's a rap, never waistlines, and I'm cutting the weight like a tummy tuck. That mean I'm about to give it out right now. You see what's coming down the line, I never pipe down. I give 100% and be trying to stun on my enemies, and my element is crazy as the mic sound. I'm in the zone. Give me the throne. One shot, that's all that you got. That's all that I know. Foot on the gas. 155 on the road. You can be a friend of me, an enemy. Keep that same old energy, cause I know I'm in my element, ooh, yeah. I'm in my element, ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. I'm in my element, ooh, yeah. I'm in my element, ooh, yeah. I'm in my element, ooh, yeah. Keep that same energy. I'm in my element. Never switch up. 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 Keep that same energy. I'm in my element.
Yeah. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you at. What's good, peoples? What's good, my peoples? It's Tuesday, man. Clap it up for yourself. Right. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. It's Tuesday, man. You already know what it is. You already know what we do. We go over the fights from over this weekend here, all the current news and all the current things going on boxing today. You guys read the thumbnail. We have a special guest that will be in the building a little bit later. We'll be in the building. And Bill Haney. This is the word, right? And an opportunity to have a bit of a one-on-one of a bit with the ATP Combat Media family. Get some questions answered, get some understanding on what we should be expecting from Devin, what we should be expecting from Team DHP. Hopefully we can get to the bottom of some of these questions. I know some of the things that we might want to know might not necessarily be available right at our fingertips, as I know they're in the midst of negotiations and ironing things out, but we'll try to get as much as we can and figure it out for ourselves, right? We got a lot of information circulating in the space about what's happening, what's not happening, what's supposed to be happening versus what's not supposed to be happening. So hopefully we can get some clarity on those things. Obviously, you guys step inside the building, take a moment to go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so, right? That's always key, but definitely hit the thumbs up and support the grind, man. Shout out to everybody who is here early in the building right now, as I know people are creeping in slowly but for surely, stepping into the building. SOB TV, Agent 0777 in the building. Delonte Fam Sports, what's good with you, family? Haas Boxing, salute to you, family. Big Boss, what does Big Boss say here? Big Boss says, Bill Haney on the Ring Report. Yeah, that's the game plan, man. Adam Hurley, what's good with you, family? Manuel 408 said, Bill Haney. That's right. That's what's supposed to be happening here, man. I've been working on this for a little while here, trying to get on the schedule as Bill's been on this media tour. You know how it is with Bill, right? So it's about that time for him. Obviously, things are cooking up over there. Last time we seen Devin Haney was about a little over, 7 months ago, something like that. I don't know what the exact numbers were, but it's about that time. So trying to figure out what's going to happen. Trying to figure out what's going to happen. I know we like an active Devin. Bill loves an active Devin, but not everybody can afford to pay to play, right? Only a select few people can do that. So we'll talk about it, man. We'll talk about exactly what it is. I've heard so many different versions of what's going on, right? So many different rumors, so much different speculation. So, and I've seen he's done a couple of interviews. Shout out to the creators out there who have done these interviews. Obviously, shout out to my brother Ness. Shout out to Champ Side. Just a few, right? I think he popped up on my brother Flyer Frequency on my Aki Flyer Frequencies channel as well. But, just once again, different perspectives. I got some questions myself specifically that I want to know about. And sometimes you just got to hear from the horse's mouth, right? It is what it is. On top of that, coming off the back end of of Zuffa 7, a successful card as Zuffa makes their move into the UK for the first time, touches down in the UK. And I got to give them their respect. The events, I always tell you guys with Zuffa, never short me on the expectations. If anything, exceed, right? And I think it's an argument to say that event exceeded expectations. Now, keep in mind, 7 events into Zuffa's campaign in their first year, you got to keep a realistic, right? You got to keep a realistic point of view. We're not competing with 70,000 field arena with Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez or things of that nature, right? Or a packed out Madison Square Garden for a Teofimo versus Shakur Stevenson. But, all in all, great card. Knockouts on the card. I think it was like a lion's share of knockouts, maybe about 5, somewhere between, about 5, maybe 6 stoppages, 5 legitimate knockouts. It's pretty good, right? And decent matchmaking as well. Very competitive fights. I mean, I think one or two of the fights, it was definitely I'm not going to say mismatch, because both guys come in there with the same, on that prospect level in that same tier of fighter, and one guy outshines the other guy. That happens from time to time, but for the most part, very competitive card. It is what it is, right? News coming out, interviews coming out with Keyshawn Davis. We got to talk about that as well, as he talks about what he's looking forward to do. And it's just right on time for all of that, right? It's just right on time for a lot of this stuff to come together, even with Shakur Stevenson. You know what I'm saying? He's speaking up a little bit about potential fights he wants to get into, as far as Lamont Roach and things of that nature, and all those interviews. We'll talk about all that stuff, guys. As you're stepping in the building, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as we're waiting here. What does this say? Pristine. Shout out to Pristine Network in the building. Devin sacrifice went. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not too sure. Shout out to welcome down Van Houder, Mr. Cheeks in the building. Demazion Van Houder's father, future of the heavyweight American division, says, Clay, make it rain more. Shakur needs to go to 147, period. They putting the pressure on you. I gotta ask. I got questions for Bill, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I got questions about that whole situation, man. I get it, man. Fighting bums, like, oh, okay. V Mason in the building. Salute. Hausbarger says, I like that we may actually get the Devin versus Shakur fight, but at some point these fighters need to start sacrificing like Devin does. Oh, okay. So that's what it is. Pristine was responding to Hausboxing. Okay. Ron from the 6. What's good with you, family? What's good? Pristine, you think Bill will let Devin fight Shakur 144? Hey, listen. Questions, man. Questions, man. Shout out to King Cam in the building as well, man. Father extraordinaire, somewhat of a trainer, right? Father of Kamarai Walker in the building as well. Prospect in the building. EMS says Haney vs. Shakur is one of those few fights in a century easily be built for a trilogy. Yeah, I think there's a lot of possibilities. Obviously, there's a lot of history there with the Devin Haney Shakur Stevenson situation. We all know what it is. You know what I mean? Maybe some people need a bit of a reminder of what it all comes from. I mean, at one point or another, the closest of friends. I remember when Shakur Stevenson was speaking on Devin Haney as a little brother, right? As some, I remember that when they had that kind of energy towards each other when Shakur was down there around 126, right? Before he hit like 130 and ended up 135. There was a mutual understanding between them. And I think we all understand that pedigree, they kind of shared that pedigree coming into the game at the same time as the Ryan Garcias and all those guys. We understood what spot Devin and Shakur kind of did fill in, right? You could kind of see the future rivalry potentially being there just because at some point or another we're going to end up in the same division, and how were they going to treat it? It is what it is. So yeah, man, trilogies and all that. But without a doubt, I don't know. I'm gonna hold off and wait for an opportunity to ask Bill directly on certain questions, right? Until then, guys, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Before we keep it, we go any further, I'm gonna bring him up here. You love to hate, you hate to love him. It is what it is, my guy. Shout out to Angelo. What's good? What's goody? What's goody? What's goody? Angelo, what's good, fam?
Hey, man. So, here in Vegas, we're kind of hot with the Vegas Golden Knights tonight.
I thought it was just hot. I thought the sun was just hot.
It is. It's like 107. The other night, I was talking to one of the coaches, and he's in the East Coast, and I said, hey, man, it's like 8 o'clock here right now, and it's 104. It's like, good Lord. So, but it's not desert heat, man. But no, I'm talking about how it's so cool here when there's events happening in Vegas, Clay, so T-Pain, which I know you're familiar with, totally giving out a free concert today to the public, 2 p.m. Pacific time. It's a cool thing. Let's hope that the Golden Knights win. And living the transplant life, brother. Getting some blood results this week. Gonna do some doctor's appointments. But I'm excited to talk to Dr. Bill Haney.
Yeah, I mean that's the game plan. I mean, he'll pop up. That's one thing about Bill. He's on the move. He's moving around. So when he shows up, he shows up to a certain. It's kind of hard to gauge it. Bill is a dude who likes to just pop in when he's ready to pop in. When he sees his time, he knows how to do it. Man, he manages the storm like no other, man. But on the back end, Zuffa 7, man, decent event again. Once again, not falling short, but probably rising above the expectation. Lot of energy in the building, and a decent card, man. Good matchmaking over there. Some standouts, obviously. I mean, we got Fight of the Year candidates that popped off on this card, and that's what Zuffa is done, right? That's what Dana tries to make sure he attaches his name to is that type of situation. And obviously, you make the matches, but it's up to the fighters, right? It's up to the fighters to deliver on the fight. So if they do, it's great, right? If they don't, but to be fair, they haven't not been. They haven't fallen short, man. They just continue to keep on delivering, man. What do you think about the event?
No, I mean, we were calling it, and I remember you saying it was your favorite event of all the Zuffas so far. It's hard for it not to be, especially with the crowd being so excited, extremely engaged. You had the crowd all cheering and singing and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, man, how could no, if you're just a casual sports fan and you watch that event, you would go, wow, this is exciting. If you're a hardcore boxing fan and you watch that event, kind of hard to hate on it, honestly, just because it was such a really well put together event. It was fast. It wasn't like, remember how when we watched the Egypt fight, it kind of took forever to get to all those fights. I mean, people forget that there were 8 fights on the Zuffa card, and it happened pretty quickly. It was like 7 stoppages. There was no like in between wait time. In between, they really put together a really fast, well put together TV package. And Christian William Smith, man, from what I hear, he's going to be ranked number 2, right behind David Benavidez here in the next few days or whatnot. So probably CBS versus Jai Pataya is looming at some point if they can't put together the David Benavidez thing. So,
Right. Is from your understanding, it's still in the air. So is there still ongoing negotiations between Jai Pataya and Noah McKellen, or has that just been frozen in the midst of Mauricio Sulaiman's announcement? Like what do you
this is me. This is Angelo speaking. Is Angelo, all right? This is not me putting the jacket on anyone else. This is just my opinion. If I'm wrong, then cool. But yeah, from what I understand, McKellen's going to be fighting Jai Pataya, and they'll make some sort of announcement, unless there's some weird move or pivot that happens between now and they announce Jai Apatai's next fight.
Right. It
So
seems like David is not really studying that. Like, right, that's like a worst case scenario for him to pursue that. Right. It sounds. I'm hearing rumors.
no,
of
I think that there's definitely true legs into this whole theory of the Russian guy a couple of weeks ago already said he's more than happy to fund David Benavidez coming to Russia. You know, Samson likes money, so Samson Likowitz would love Russia money. That's no problem to him. And if the Bivol Beterbiev fight doesn't happen as an option, because that's what was supposed to happen next as a part of their trilogy, then possible you can see Beterbiev versus David Benavidez for the vacant, the quote unquote Clay, the vacant WBC Cruiserweight Championship. And it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
Well, I mean, it's not vacant unless David Benavidez activates this mandatory, right? Unless he makes it happen, right? Like it's up to
I thought they already did that last week, though. They activated him being the mandatory. I thought that's what was happening. Maybe I missed that part. I thought they already did that. They's like, hey, I want to be mandatory for Cruiserweight. And then Mauricio went on live, I think on Fight Hype or Boxing Scene, and said, yes, Noel McCallan must fight David Benavidez or we will strip him. So if what I'm saying becomes true, which is McCallan's going to fight Jai, because at the end of the day, you can already see that Zuffa as a whole signing just about every single cruiserweight. So, you know, but Beterbiev's not a cruiserweight. If Beterbiev were to move up, whether it's instead of Bivol's fight or after Bivol's fight, he's still, you know, he's kind of like cashing out before he leaves, right? Which good for Beterbiev, right? We just watched Usyk cash out with Rico Verhoeven, so what do we care? You know, great.
No, yeah, awesome. It's definitely all good. I was just wondering what would that end up looking like. I know, you know, Mauricio said they activated it, but it's just I'm hearing so many rumors circulating about Beterbiev. I'm hearing even, you know, things circulating about even Jai Apataya to a certain degree, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm hearing like, you know, I just know that they're getting a lot of pressure put on them to kind of figure it out and make it make sense. But it is what it is. But back to the Zuffa 7 card. Good standouts on the card here, man. I think, you know, one of the big standouts on it was that Sam Hickey fight, right? And the being
that was a middleweight fight.
I mean, 4-0 now, but what a pedigree on Sam Hickey, man. You know, I'm sure, I don't know if he got some sort of award or not. I feel like he probably should have.
He got 50,000. Right? He got the 50,000. It was a beautiful knockout.
Beautiful. And once again, not only the knockout, but the setup, right? The pedigree, the way he carried it, walked him down. I'm saying walking, you know, framing him and taking his time. And it was like a defensive, offensive masterclass, right? As he kind of put it together to get to that knockout. A prospect that definitely jumped up on my radar, seeing him perform. What'd you think of Sam Hickey's performance?
Yeah, no, I thought he was great. I thought that hopefully was that I'm trying to remember who it was that he knocked out, who was also 4-0, I think it was. So hopefully that guy
Tompkins.
Tompkins. Yeah. So hopefully Tompkins gets a chance to you know, fight somebody. But yeah, the way he set it up with the slip to right, then did it again, then did it the third time, caught him right at the chin, perfect, knocked him out. Yeah, man, definitely him. He got the 50K, and then Sheb Clark got the 50K.
Oh, of course. Of course, he better have gotten it.
Sheb Clark, the Rozicki, Christian William Smith, they both got 50K. So that's nice, man. On top of your check, that's a beautiful thing. Just
I'm sure, for sure, man. Stephen McKenna had a nice shootout. You know, I mean, had a great dance partner, and then Casey James Streeter, right? James Streeter's just, you know, kind of like brought that Rozicki energy to a certain degree. This is like, I'm gonna press it. But right up at Stephen McKenna's alley, and just, you know, he made his presence felt in the middleweight division, a division that seems to be growing over there as well, right? Building up that middleweight division. We know Jaleel is over there. They're building up that division. So, you know, Stephen McKenna seems like a great addition to the conversation, right next to his brother Aaron McKenna as well. But what do you think about Steve McKenna? 15.
Yeah, no, Steve is great. Yeah, it's a partnership of him and his brother signing with Zuffa. I'm pretty sure you were aware of this, that Aaron is with Keith Connolly. This is Aaron's first shot at finally getting a world title shot in 9 years, bro. So it took him 9 years to finally get one, right? To get one title shot. But he's fighting for the vacant IBF. It's on August 8th against Etanisi Oliha, who I believe is ranked number 5 by Ring Magazine. Aaron McKenna is ranked number 6. And then, yeah, man, his little brother, I think the game plan for his little brother is little brother did great. Lee Cutler also did well. Whether you like the fact that he got a stoppage off of an arm falling off from Sam Hutton, is it right? The guy's arm came off, but neither guy got hurt, and they had a hell of a fight in 2024. So I think you're going to end up seeing Stevie McKenna fight Lee Cutler on that August 8th card as a rematch to their first fight, in where Lee Cutler beat him by majority decision. So that'll be a hell of a fight. What do you think? Lee Cutler versus Stevie McKenna.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it, man. Just obviously getting a chance to see them both, and then knowing that storyline, you could only imagine what the fight's going to look like in the ring. And the stage makes the difference, right? When you get these fighters motivated and invested in their future that way, when they understand how important these fights are and the magnitude of these events for their own careers, they bring their best. They bring their real game, their best game to the table, man. So yeah, to see fighters like that bring it to the table against each other, yeah, bro. I'm definitely in the building. I'm definitely in the building for that one. What do you think about the probably one of the most lackluster fights on the card, right? Harvey Dykes versus Ivan Ditchko, right? That fight right there, the heavyweight fight that was on the card there. Harvey Dykes just seemed to, I know he seemed to be somewhat of a crowd favorite, right? It seemed like the people in the building were there for him, but didn't really deliver the way you would have expect. They kind of were give him like a Dave Allen type of reception, but fell short to say the least, right? Now, Ivan Ditchko, once again, a very tall, he has this dominating presence about him, but really just not, this doesn't seem to really, really vanilla, but was able to stay disciplined behind that jab, control the range for the lion's share of that fight, outscore Harvey Dykes pretty much, and Harvey Dykes never able to kind of figure out how to get inside of that lead hand and get active. And at times when he did get past the lead hand, collapse in the pocket, smothering his own work, making it very difficult for him to work in it. But the referee, I thought, did a good job in there. But anything stand out with you in that fight? Anything to look forward to either one of these guys?
Yeah, I like to look at the positives in that Harvey Dykes was undefeated up until that fight. And Harvey Dykes, again, is a fan favorite. Dave Allen energy is a very fair description of Harvey Dykes. But to be honest, man, the guy came in, and even though he's 6'3", he came in at 270. He didn't even make the UFC heavyweight limit. You know what I'm trying to say? So I'm sure with some dieting and maybe, I don't know what Daniel Dubois' coach could do about that in terms of him not, trying to get the weight down. But I think there's definitely skill set there. And I didn't think Harvey Dykes, who that was his 9th fight, Clay, I wasn't going to compare him to Jermaine Franklin, bro. You know what I mean? The disparity and the gap of experience is crazy. So the fact that they moved Ivan Ditchko, this was clear. If we're going to do A side, B side, the 2-time bronze medalist, Ivan Ditchko, was clearly the A side. So he was supposed to do what he did. The problem is he's not very exciting. Are you excited? Are you excited?
No, not at all, man. I know they're building up trying to build up this heavyweight division. I think that's the vision, right? And they end up having to be a little honest with themselves and bring in the cruiserweight division when they said they weren't going to really mess with those middle divisions. But you got to kind of be honest about it. They're trying to build it up. You got Demazian over there. They're trying to feed the FA jog buzz. You know what I'm saying? Those guys that are over there that I guess at the top of the food chain in that conversation. But Ivan Ditchko, I don't know if Ivan Ditchko is a Zuffa fighter all the way. If that's what it is, I got to assume he is if he was on that card.
He's on the roster. He's on when they did the 100 roster. He was on the roster. So
I
have to assume he's a Zuffa fighter.
Exactly, right. So 15-1 now, man. Listen, man. He's going to be a litmus test for somebody in the division. You got to think about Demazian, things of that nature. We talked about it on the show when we were calling it Demazian potentially getting who would be the better look, him against Harvey or Ivan Ditchko on, as they're building his resume up. But it is what it is. But standout.
Just real quick, let me ask you then. Would you be mad? I know that you didn't like how he looked, but would you be upset if you either saw one of two things? Either they continue to push Ivan Ditchko and have him fight Charles Martin next, or if that ends up being the opener for Andy Ruiz being a part of Zuffa. Would you be mad at Ivan Ditchko versus Andy Ruiz?
You think Andy's gonna come over?
I mean, I don't know, man. He's hanging out at Riyadh season a lot, bro. So I don't know.
Right. No, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at those matchups at all. I'm not mad at them, but I'm on the outside looking in when it comes to certain conversations in the space because I'm just not really, I'm trying to be optimistic. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to certain competition, it is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be optimistic when it comes to an Ivan Ditchko and a Harvey. It's like what you didn't really leave me much to work with, to be excited about. You know what I mean? They just really didn't do that for me. But it is what it is, man. What did you? I think the fight of the night, probably more than likely. I mean, people obviously want to say the Christian William Smith and the Ryan Rozicki was the fight of the night, and I get it, right? It was a shootout, very Fabio.
They also both got the 50K, so according to Dana White, their fight of the night. Just those are just actual things.
Right. I'm just saying this as far as personal, I'm saying preference. I'm saying I know most people agreed with that, right? That would be the fight of the night. Like I said, in that conversation with Daniel Dubois and Fabio Wardley, a shootout type of fight, real rock'em sock'em, just exciting fight, really living up kind of a little bit to that UFC energy that people were talking about. Had the crowd really going crazy. Seen a lot of Brits in the building, drinking their beers, having a great time, going crazy, watching these guys put it all on the line. Me and you done had a little bit of private conversations about the fight itself and how I looked at it, which I thought it was an exciting fight, but I don't think it was the highest level of pedigree in the fight. I think the Jack Massey Chev Clark fight was probably my personal fight of the night. You know what I'm saying? I thought that, Chev Clark being put down twice in the fight, making that comeback, you know what I'm saying? Trying to figure out how to close that space, and ultimately a great campaign to the body early in the fight that showed up and paid out like a lot of times they do, paid out in compound interest, right? In those championship rounds, and Jack Massey wasn't able to move around as much as he did in the early rounds, and a right hand that you just kind of saw being set up as we were calling the fight. You just kind of seen the possibilities behind that right hand. You're like, man, if he could just figure out how to cross that void, it seems like it's right there for him. But while he was trying to figure out how to get there, I think most people probably had Jack Massey winning that fight on the cards, right? So it was like, this is what he was going to have to do, and he delivered. Right?
When we were calling it and I was analyzing it, as oftentimes I do when we're doing these watch parties, right? You're doing the play-by-play, and I'm trying to analyze and see what these guys are doing. I even said on our program, I said, I feel like Chev Clark's game plan is to knock out Jack Massey with an overhand right. But he's given away a lot of these rounds. With the knockdown, I said, with the knockdown already having him behind 10-8 for that one round, then, I get it. He's working the body. He's giving away rounds, though. He's giving away points. So on the scorecards, he was clearly behind. He was, when they showed the actual judges' scorecards, he was clearly behind. But for him to, well-deserving of the 50K bonus, well-deserving of a knockout of the night performance. But more importantly, man, I think you kicked Rob Zafar out because I didn't think he really won against Peralta. And you put Chev Clark in, baby. Chev Clark totally deserves to be in the Ring Magazine.
100%, man. It was a redemption for him. I know he really loved that moment that he got to have, without a doubt, right? I know he definitely appreciated that moment. And going into that, that's what we were saying, right? Like, okay, this is his moment, right? A lot of fighters in his position, coming on the back end of what happened between him and Vidal Riley and things of that nature. A lot of people get forgotten real quick in that traditional space, man. Those O's count. You know what I'm saying? So Chev Clark coming into there, you just kind of understood what it was. And I don't know, was Jack Massey favored or was I crazy? He was favored to win that fight, right?
Or maybe it was. I don't know if it was. No, Jack Massey was the favorite because I remember looking at it, like on the betting, and then I was like, I don't know if I want to bet Chef Clark, you
Right.
know, because it was too close. It was like, it wasn't like a plus crazy 200 or anything like that. It was almost at even money at the time.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, man, it totally takes Chef Clark now to a whole nother, like a different trajectory of what they're gonna do with him. But good for
Yeah,
him,
yeah.
bro.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
good for him.
a 10 rounder for him. I think his last fight was an 8 rounder with Anthony Holloway, you know what I'm saying? He was able to get the KO there as well, but once again on that journey to build himself back up, this was a big opportunity to be on this stage, you know what I'm saying? Get an opportunity, Sky Sports, Zuffa Boxing, Paramount TV, all these different entities that are involved in that situation. He got a knockout that I'm not going to say is a knockout of the year candidate. I don't know. It wasn't a knockout of the year candidate for me, but I think it was a great performance. A great
Yeah, I
performance.
mean, it's tough because we've been seeing a lot of knockouts that are like, wow, right? Like, I mean, if we're just pointing at the Zuffa knockouts, we already have the De La Cerda one where he got Irvin Fuller falling flat face. We got Dazembekov getting that knockout.
Mhm.
That was crazy. Then we got to see Hickey's knockout. I mean, Hickey's knockout was kind of better than Chef Clark's knockout if we're just
Mhm.
looking at the knockout itself. And then you're gonna try to have that contend, bro, with your guy Alan Chavez. You got all goosebumps
Yeah, Alan Chavez.
knockouts. So you know, like
That was,
it's hard to
especially
say
with who
Chef
he
Clark's
did it
knockout
against.
of the year. You know,
Especially with who he did it against in Miguel Madueno, man. That was just Jesus, man. I mean,
yeah,
that was right there. Right. It is what it is. But let's get in a little, let's get in a little bit into the main fight, man. Into the Ryan Rozicki Chris Billiam Smith main event card right there. Just stylistic matchup, kind of made to be fireworks, right? Just kind of on paper, you kind of were expecting this fight to be what it was, damn near. Or I mean, I don't know, because it kind of over expected. Like, damn, this thing is really turning out to be what it is. But I think going into the fight, acknowledging CBS's pedigree going into the fight, and kind of acknowledging Rozicki's the danger that Rozicki was going to be putting anybody he was in the ring with, just with that energy. And you know, Rozicki looking just like a sociopath, you know, with that shades face, man, just with the tattoos. It was just a very menacing, look about him coming in the ring with that book in his hand. And it was just like, I don't know, bro. It seemed
yeah.
like
He had the Jack
it
Dempsey
was.
shoes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
shoes and the gloves, right?
yeah, and the
Coming in there.
gloves. Yeah, man. No, he did. I mean, I don't. I mean, for me, Clay, it's going to be hard for them not to include that in a fight of the year type of a candidate because
Mhm.
it was just blood and guts the whole from first round on, like right from the first round. Rozicki didn't start with no jab, man. I think the first punch he threw was an overhand right.
Right. Just kind of set the energy, set the temperature, right? Like this is what it's
Right,
gonna be tonight. And Christian Billion Smith,
right,
like
right.
he co-signed
And,
it. Like, okay.
yeah, yeah. And Christian William Smith, even his coach, Shane McGuigan, was saying this was a must win for CBS because if he doesn't win this, then maybe he's done. Right. So that's why
Mhm.
I do give a lot of credit to two things. One, Rozicki's like 4 years younger than CBS. And two, Rozicki's coming off of a knockout in March. So he was
Mhm.
tuned up. Christian William Smith, bro, hasn't fought in 14 months. That's a year and 2 months, bro. That's, you know, like, that's why I was like saying I kind of understood. Christian William Smith, I'm sure, was thrown off a little bit, thrown off guard, like, damn, this boy's strong. And then
Coming right at me.
and even you saw, like, when he hit him clean, like, how many times did you see CBS hit Rozicki clean, bro? Like, cleaner than how Alan Chavez hit Madueno. And the fact that Rozicki was still standing there like a zombie? Come on, bro. Come on. It gave you some
Yeah.
Mayorga vibes, right? Made you feel
Yeah, there was some Mayorga vibes. I mean, I wasn't, like I said, man, I'm keeping it real, right? Just my personal opinion. I was not impressed as much as some people were. I thought together as a team effort, they delivered on an entertaining, crazy rock'em sock'em fight. And you know what boxing fan, especially a casual fan, what casual fan or what any boxing fan can't get behind that and be like, man, these guys are putting it in. You know, they're putting it in. But I just saw very early in that fight that Rozicki was just lacking in a lot of departments when it came to that discipline and that pedigree and just that head movement, defensively, just, real easy to get to say the least, as far as really easy to touch that chin, but definitely an expensive price of admission to get in exchange with him. You're definitely paying as well if you got on the other side of him. But I thought Billiam, I felt like there was a space for a more, I don't know, a more. I'm obviously I want to refer to the pedigree, but I just felt like he could have played behind the jab a little bit more. He could have controlled that range a little bit more and probably took advantage of a fighter that was really there to be hit a lot. I mean, Billiam was letting off some good 3 to 5 punch combinations that would touch him. There was a couple exchanges in there where it was just like, it was amazing that Rosicky was even standing there, clean, good, like David Benavidez's combination punching type shots, man. No, though, I don't know if I can see Rosicky continuing to move like that. I mean, how old is Rosicky, by the way? How old is he?
30. He's 30 years old.
30 years old. Listen, man, you don't play boxing, man. You don't play boxing. I mean, I need my guy to get his head off that line a little bit, man. Just move around a little bit more and just work behind the jab and keep those hands up, man. I just don't know what that looks like for him at 50 years old. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what that looks like for him. I mean, that's scrambling the brain pretty damn good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
I don't know.
I mean, for sure. I mean, there, the UFC in 30 years has never gotten one death in MMA, so I'm sure they're going to follow the same protocol when it comes to Zuffa boxing, and they're going to test the hell out of his CT scans and whatever they need to do to make sure before he gets cleared for the next fight, right? All medicals and all of that. But having said that, man, I like the fight. That I liked it. I like that I got to see what CBS still has left in him in his mid-30s, right? Because this is a guy who's going to be 36, I think, this year. So next year he's 37. I mean, how many more fights does Christian William Smith got left in the tank, right? And the fact that he was on a 14-month layoff, then you couple that with a young Rosicky who's a power puncher. And come on, man, the way I see Rosicky is we've seen Brandon Rios before. And Brandon Rios, Mike Alvarado gave us some of the best, like type of fights, right? I kind of felt like this was closer to a Providnikov, Timothy Bradley type of a fight, right? And it was more so, I felt like Rosicky was making it hard for Christian William Smith to be able to do what you're talking about. Because you're talking about, well, I feel like Christian William Smith should have been able to move and box. I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know if Zurdo could have. I told you, I think the Zurdo I just watched fight Benavidez would have lost to Rosicky, but maybe I'm just excited off of seeing what I saw. I think that in a war, though, that's a bad place to be if you're fighting Rosicky in a war. And I don't know. Maybe Zurdo could have outboxed them the way you're talking about. Who knows? But I don't think so. I think Rosicky makes it hard on people.
Yeah, styles make fights, and I think he does make it hard, right? When you're pressing that way, and you don't have much regard for the, in other words, you're walking through punches, you're walking through shots, just a relentless Terminator attitude. There's an imminent danger that floats in the air when you see Rosicky in the ring, and you just have that feeling until you figure him out, stop him, slow him down, do something significant. You've got somebody who's literally menacingly trying to unalive you, right? Like it's a very Jason Voorhees, Halloween type of energy, right? Where it's just like, yo, this dude, until you figure this dude out, he's definitely a problem. He's not going to stop coming forward. But I mean, we'll see, man. I'll give him the grace. I mean, listen, I know Dana White was happy with the performance. I know it looked like the Zuffa, company, the team was pleased, and looks like they're going to bring him back at some point.
No, for sure. No, Rosicky's in the roster. I was going to say, not just Zuffa, Clay, but more importantly, Sky Sports. Sky Sports was extremely happy with that product. They were very happy with the production, the speed of the event. Again, and Sky Sports is one of the, if not the most powerful television network in that side of the world, right? We're talking about Sky Sports News, Sky Sports, with football, and with boxing, Sky Sports Boxing, it's a brand. It's like their HBO boxing. You know what I mean, right?
Right.
So they were very, very, very happy with that. And let me ask you this question, just because I could feel I feel like it's like I gave you this chow mein, and you're kind of like, you know, it's good, but I don't think it's as good as what
I'm
the
like,
reviews say.
it's
You know,
chow
it's
mein.
good.
It's chow mein. I mean, I get it. I take
Noodles,
it.
like, you know,
Yes,
I've had
I
them,
see it.
right? You're like, this is not like me going to.
You know what I mean?
You're looking at me like this is not like me going to New York at Tim Ho Wan or something and having their chow mein, but it's all right, you know.
This is what they're doing. This is chow mein.
Right.
It's not. It's chow mein. It's chow mein.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I'm not
So,
like jumping out of. Yo, let me do a review.
Yeah.
Take a picture of this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
so
more
my
looks.
question to you.
It's more looks than anything, right? It's
Right.
more looks and flavor and actual, like, you know.
Right.
But I mean, chow mein. I'll come back. I'll come back.
Yeah. So my question to you is, Jack Massey just lost, but the way he lost was by knockout, right? Because he was outboxing in a lot of ways and even knocked down twice Chev Clark. So if you put Jack Massey, and be honest with yourself, based on what you just saw, if you put the same Jack Massey who was getting tired too, all right? You put Jack Massey against Ryan Rozicki, who'd you put your money on? You see? That chow mein's better than what you're thinking now, isn't it? You see what I'm saying?
No. Look, styles make fights, and I have to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Jack Massey, yes. I think that's a very competitive fight, and I probably would lean towards Rozicki to win that fight. I'm not going to lie. That fight right there, that's probably a good fight actually to put together, Jack Massey versus Rozicki. You know what I'm saying? But not too many in that top. Not too many. I'm trying to tell you, man. Rozicki I gotta see him again. I gotta be honest with you. I gotta see him again and see what he's able to do.
I got one more for you to convince you that this was a well worth, high reviewed chow mein for a reason. What about Brian Glanton versus Rozicki? Would you like to see two guys just go at it?
Cool. Yeah, great fight. But I think Brandon stops him. Brandon stops him. You know what I mean?
So
it'd
be a good comeback fight from Brandon then.
Yeah, a great fight for both of them. A great comeback fight for both of them. I think you see what Brandon can do, and you see what Rozicki can do, and Brandon gets hit. He gets hit.
Right.
So you know, but I think there's a hold on a second here. There's a pedigree about Glenn that's there, right? And after a fight like that with Jao Bataya, he looks like the type of fighter that gets better. You know what I'm saying? He looks like that does a good thing for him. But that's a great fight, yes. That's a great fight.
Right.
I don't think Brandon Glanton participates in the rock'em sock'em. I don't think he just allows that to, you know what I'm saying? I don't think he just allows that to happen that way. I think you'll have moments in the fight where it gets very exciting, but I think Brandon's going to try to control that range. He's going to try to, you know what I mean? He's trying to use his feet a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Turn him, you know what I'm saying? Tie him up a little bit more. He's not just going to allow Rozicki just not give a damn.
Right.
The way he's not giving a damn.
Right. And again, just so that we could land this cruiserweight plane, because I know as we're waiting, with you seeing Zuffa signing so many cruiserweights, right? And we just saw the uncomfortable ending of Richard Torres, who that was only his 15th fight. So he got the 14-0, decided to go, I can take on Frank Sanchez. He got knocked out, right? So there's a guy that's similar to that, Olympian, signed to Zuffa, cruiserweight division, in Jamar Talley. And you just saw Jamar Talley. But is Jamar Talley ready for the Rozickis and the Brandon Glantons of the world? Or you're like, nah, bro, you should not do what Richard Torres just did. You should continue to win.
I think Talley is I'd favor him to win, but it'd be a real test. Rozicki is a legitimate, first of all, he's a dance partner from hell. You're going to be part of something. Hold on a second.
All right. Guys, got this message. Just checking, making sure.
Yeah, I just got this message. But I think that Rozicki is a litmus test for any cruiserweight, up and coming cruiserweight. He is, you know. He needs to get a little bit more defensively responsible. That's what I'm saying, man. I want him, You know, and I don't want to sound like that kind of person who's out here just thinking about the father's well-being, like, oh, you don't even know that guy. What do you care? I care a little bit, man. I like to see competitive fights, man, but that he took a lot of shots. I mean,
He took a lot of shots.
He took a lot of punishment, man. He took a lot of punishment, man. And it's like that's like might as well be the heavyweight division, man. You ain't supposed to be getting punched on like that, man. Shout out to his corner, by the way. For stepping up.
Yeah, Sean George. Yeah, Sean
Yeah.
George did a good job. Yeah.
Shout out to his corner, man. They did the right thing, man. They didn't allow that entertainment to get the best of them. Where it was like, come on, yeah, right now, we're gonna stop this. You're not moving your head enough. You're not keeping your hands up enough. You're eating everything, brother.
Right.
You're eating everything. And it looked like there was some points where he was kind of knocked out on his feet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no. There was the one point where he purposely put his hands down, where he was kind of like, yeah, let me take it. And then he took it. Then he was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, like he was trying to be hard body, but it was like, yeah, that last one was a doozy, right? He's like, oh, damn. I'm good. I don't know how good you are, champ. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Time up, bro. Grab him up, bro. Hold on. Sorry. You're only human, bro. I don't care how badass you think you are a human being, bro. Stop, man. Not for these people. These people don't care about you, bro. Not for these drunk UK people. Shout out to the UK fans, best boxing fans in the world, bro. You don't need to be a sacrificial lamb like that, bro. Come on now. Come on now.
Right. No, that's why it gave me the Mayorga feel, because Mayorga did it to De La Hoya. He did it to Trinidad, where he was like, you remember this was a classic HBO film where Mayorga looked at Trinidad and he's like, yeah, like your left hook's good. Hit me. And then Trinidad hit him. And he's like, no, hit me again. And Trinidad hit him. Right. But the second time Trinidad hit him, he was like, all stuffly legs and stuff. That's kind of what Rozicki did, bro. Rozicki was like, go ahead and hit me. And then CBS hit him.
Yeah. And CBS was like, all right. CBS was definitely like, okay. I mean, I don't know what this is. What part of the game this is, but I don't know. Are they paying you to do this? Like, are they paying you to let me punch on you? Like, is this like is the play in here? You know what I'm saying? Or to boost up this fight? Because it got political up in there, but it is what it is, man. So we're waiting on. I'm waiting on Bill to pop up.
Okay, all right. Well, speaking of which, one of the questions I would actually either you will ask him or I'll ask him. Maybe we won't even have to ask. He'll talk about it. But if you pay attention to Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney, they've been having their little Twitter war in the last 24 hours. And the last one, as of about an hour ago, is Devin Haney going, so you're saying if I come down to 144, you're going to fight me, right? Now, hey man, I said to you, if the money was right, I could see Devin going, you know what, man?
It's interesting. It's interesting that you bring that up because I didn't see that, right? I don't keep up with Twitter like I should maybe. I always kind of catch like a day later, but I was definitely one of the questions was going to be like, listen, this fight, you're saying the powers that be want this fight, but are they saying this fight has to be at 147? Like, is it more important to have the fight, or is it like, why is it got to be at, because, Bill spoke about, these guys don't care about the belts, right? In other words, the Keyshawn Davises, the Shakur Stevensons aren't thinking about these belts. That's not necessarily what's driving them. They're looking to just be part of making the biggest fight. So on the other side of this fight clearly being a fight that the powers that be, quote unquote, you guys can use your imagination as who's they're talking about, wanting to fight. Does the fight have to be at 147? Because I did see, I feel like I seen something where Shakur was like, yeah, but I got to come into your weight, right? And kind of laughed at it. Like, bro, this fight does not have to be 147. It's a big fight. Clearly, there's money there. But at some point or another, and you know how I'm carrying it, right? As far as who is pressing for the fight. I think at this point, it's clear who's pressing for the fight, right? It's clear who's pressing for this fight. That being said, are you willing to concede any type of position or any type of high ground, any type of leverage to make this fight happen? Or what are you willing to? I think one would argue you've made it clear that you wouldn't, but at the same time, here we are back at the negotiation table trying to make this fight happen, right? You know what I'm trying to say?
Right. Like, no, I totally understand. I mean, when
you guys said your position and we respected it. Like, okay, boom, boom. But one guy seems like he's kind of moved on from it.
Right.
Like, all right. And the other
know what you're
guy
saying.
seems to be kind of like, yo, don't walk away from the table, bro. This
Right.
fight got
We
a lot
still
of money up
negotiating.
behind it.
I thought we were still eating. I thought you
Right.
liked the chow mein. Why
Yeah.
are you leaving, bro?
Nah, I told you already, bro. I'm not really into the chow mein here, man. It's straight, bro. I'm saying I'm good, bro. You know what I mean? Thank you for inviting me. You know what I'm saying? The strawberry
I told you
lemonade
this
is
was
the
good chow
strawberry,
mein, brother.
the strawberry lemonade is hitting up in here. I'm gonna take a cup to go. You know what I mean? But we straight. You know what I mean? Chow mein was good. It's not horrible. I'm not spitting it out or nothing like that, but I'm good. And yeah, hold on, bro. There's a menu here, brother. There's a menu here,
I
brother.
got spring rolls coming, bro. I got honey
Let me
walnut.
call the waiter. Let me call the waiter. Get this up off the table. Let's move this out your way. You don't gotta eat this, but I'm sure there's something on the menu here. I'm trying to tell you. And Shakur's like, what? What? Something else on the menu? I mean, all right, whatever. It is right. It's whatever. But I'm good on the main. I'm definitely good on the main. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I got what you're saying. You're right. Not willing to come up to 147. You don't
Right.
like the main that much. I got
Right.
you. I got you. But I got some honey walnut prawns coming.
Oh, they got prawns here? Oh. the big shrimp?
Yes,
right.
yes,
Well, you know what I mean?
with the sweet little walnuts.
But
You
listen,
know,
damn it. Well, damn it. I didn't know that we were waiting on this all the prawns to come out. That's what I'm talking about, right? And but you know, all jokes aside, right? You know, metaphorically speaking, of course, just to say that at some point or another, it does seem like we either gonna let this go, we're either gonna move on from this, or we're gonna try to make it make sense for me as well, from Shakur Stevenson's point of view, right? We either gonna walk away from this, or we're going to. I'm not just going to, you know, concede everything. Y'all going to start listening to me a little bit better, or you know, this fight doesn't happen. But obviously, without a doubt, there's a lot of money on the line here,
right?
For both guys, right? Clearly, but it takes it takes two to make a thing go right. You can't fight yourself. Can't fight your shadow in the ring. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can't fight your shadow, bro. You need a dance partner. And that's the thing about the traditional space of boxing, which in these conversations make sense, right? Two big needle movers in the space, right? Two big needle movers in the space, leveraging their star power, leveraging what they bring to the other person. It's very similar to me to the Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence situation, right? Where it was like Terrence Crawford had to kind of put his foot down, like, hold on, bro. I'm your biggest payday too.
Right.
You ain't just doing something for me, bro. I'm bringing up, you know, I got one of these belts. You keep talking about rap season, undisputed. You know what kind of money we can get. So it ain't just, come on now. Let's not do that. Don't do that to me. Don't let your fans fool you and keep telling you that. Don't do that. Because if I really walk away in real life, I'm still a former undisputed champion. I'm going to the Hall of Fame more than likely, and I'll do other things. And you know what I mean? It won't be granted, you're right. You are the other half to my biggest payday as of right now, too. I don't want to get cocky with you, but we're not just going to talk down to me and say that I got to do this. We're not just going to do that because, hey, bro, you can't fake fight me. You either fight me or you're not fighting me.
Right.
People want to see it.
Right. No, and that's why in 2023, that was the biggest fight to watch. is that one. In America, at least, it was huge, man. Everybody paid attention to it. Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford, right? But really, the powers that be kind of had to move out the way for the fighters to really want to make it happen. So I appreciate that Stevenson and Devin Haney are doing this little Twitter back and forth, because it's almost like they're letting us in on their little live time. You know, it's almost like they're negotiating, but in front of our eyes in a lot of ways. But it's very possible, to your point, that if this fight doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen. You know, that's why Keyshawn's on the table. That's why James Prince did the whole, hey, we're going to make him the #1 mandatory now. And there's got to be a whole, you know, So we're guys, you know, Clay's trying to see, we're expecting the man himself, Bill Haney, to come down and talk to us today and just let us know where is it all at. If you guys are paying attention to the X space, sorry if I called it Twitter, but the X space, then yeah, Shakur and Devin's kind of been going back and forth, which is kind of fun. So we'll see. According to Sean Zattel, he spoke to very reputable sources. We played it here on the channel that there's supposed to be an announcement this week of both Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney being signed to Zuffa. On this show, we've talked about that a lot. Even prior to the rumors, we've talked about how Shakur is going to come to Zuffa and that Devin Haney is going to come to Zuffa, right? But now, if we get it straight from the horse's mouth, which, by the way, for some of you guys who have tried to say, or Claymore is saying this, or Angelo saying this, when we actually bring in the guests that say it themselves, please stop saying that we said it, because they said it. The guest said it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that there's a bit of a delay. I don't know what that means all the way. Still waiting on the fine. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know. I don't know if something popped up at the last minute or something's happening.
Right.
I don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see. Supposedly still, but be patient is what I'm hearing. It is what it is. But but look, even with this whole entire Zuffa deal, trying to understand the how this is going to be set up. I don't know if this is not a one-off or a multiple fight deal. I don't really understand what's really going on, because I'm going off based off interviews that I've seen Bill do on other platforms, right? Where he's kind of speaking on, this being the fight. The Shakur Stevenson is the fight that the powers that be are interested in. You know what I'm saying? Not in so much. He's not really confirming the whole entire. We talked about this. I think me and you talked about it last night, just about and I talked. No, you know what it was? I went on Frequent's channel and I was saying that Turkey's interested in what Turkey's interested in. He's not into the financing your career type of thing, right? It doesn't seem like Turkey's really sitting there going, "Hey, I'm going to take care of you from now on." It seems like, I got a fight I'm interested in. Are you guys interested in it? Let me know, and I'll put money behind it and make it move forward. So I don't know if on the back end of that, if I'm sure Dana's trying to negotiate something that makes sense for Zuffa as well, right? Like, you're going to get your payday, but just kind of like the way Conor Ben, the situation where there was a one-off, and then there's on the back end of the one-off, if it makes sense, leaving room to for a conversation about 3-4 fight deals, 5 fight deals, 1-2 year deals, whatever can come out in the back end of that. So it's just something I'm being very patient about as I'm watching it develop, because I know with Bill specifically and Devin, they're big time business people. They're not into being tied up anywhere. They're not into, and I've said this before, right? Even last year before Zuffa finally kicked off, I said one thing about Bill, he's not into being nobody's fighter, right? He's into, okay, I'll come to Top Rank real quick and I'll do a 3-fight deal. I'll get an opportunity at Undisputed. I'll defend the Undisputed, you know what I'm saying, in a rematch. And then on the back end of that, we can do this Lomachenko fight. That makes sense. So we do have a 3-fight deal, but is he really willing to just be there and be randomly match made for him? You know what I'm saying? Randomly moved around. I'm not too sure how much, to me. And that's one of the questions I wanted to ask him, right? The questions I do want to ask him is just, you've always carried that energy of being an independent person, always available for any opportunity. There was never any across the street politics for Bill Haney. He was always able to, we can make the fight. It's on you guys. On our side, we have the freedom to do whatever we want to do. We can be over there real quick. We can stay over here real quick. We can do anything we want to do. If Zuffa is trying to, tie him up a little bit, like, you're a Zuffa fighter, quote unquote, what does that look like for the brand? Or is that what they're trying to actually do?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Well, at the end of the day, Turkey's the boss. Like, I think that's why, until we no longer live in this 2023 to current space world of the Turkey Al Sheikh era, A side and B side don't exist anymore, man. It's whoever Turkey. If Turkey wants you to fight somebody, he's going to make you an offer. It's your job to say yes or no. It's up to you. But there's no more leverages. And I think that even in this conversation, right, it's funny because Blaze asked me to go look at Keyshawn's latest tweet. So this is getting kind of fun because Keyshawn's attacking Devin now. Or Keyshawn just said on his Twitter, this guy would rather lose weight than to come fight me, the businessman, is mandatory. So now Keyshawn, who just was on an interview with Max Kellerman and Inside the Ring yesterday,
Yeah.
now he's acting like I'm the big bad wolf and you're running away from me, which it's just kind of funny, just because I think all three of them are smart enough to know there's money to be made in all of this, right? Like who, at the end of the day, guys, drama drives viewership up. People will want to see these guys fight anyways. And honestly, I find it entertaining and comical that, if Devin, I would say that Devin's on the better side of this deal, Claymore, and I'll tell you why. That means Devin Haney is guaranteed to fight one of two of Turkey's fighters. Great. Good for me. I'm getting a turkey bag either way. I'm either going to whoop on you, Keyshawn, or I'm going to whoop on your big brother, Shakur. It honestly doesn't matter to me. But if Turkey is saying to me, I get more money to come down to 144, maybe I do it right now. You know what I mean? Right? So, I like honey walnut shrimp, but the tongue pound chicken too.
What did you think about the whole entire? Did you see that little FaceTime they had with Keyshawn and Bill, and when Bill pretty much was like, let's do a group deal, let's do.
I didn't see that. The FaceTime, I didn't see that. I saw the one-on-one, like when they were, but this was like when he was 135. No,
I'm talking about recently. Let me see if I can find it.
No, I didn't see that at all. Okay.
For me, it's like, let me see if I can find it first. Hold on a second. Man.
That could be fun. So they had a little Zoom business meeting. That's awesome.
Like a little FaceTime, you know what I'm saying, between Keyshawn and Bill Haney. And I thought it was interesting. Once again, and I know there's a lot of people who's kind of pushed back at the idea of when I'm saying, right? Hold on, let me find it here. Hold on one second here. When I'm saying, if you're gonna push for the fight that way, if you're really pushing for this fight, hold on a second. Let me put it up.
All right, he's pulling something up, guys. Be patient. Be patient.
All right. Tell me what you think about this little interaction here.
Listen, I don't know if he can speak the way that he can speak for everybody, because he already know he's on the menu. You're on the menu now. Hold on, businessman. Hold on. Because it's a package deal, okay? Now listen, you and your brother, we want you both. Now listen, you guys got to get together. You got to sign the agreement together that we're going back to back with you, gentlemen, sir. Okay, and that's only right. Listen, like Jay say, if this shit, wait, if Jay said, like he say, if this shit is going down, let's get it over with.
You saying me first and Shakur second. That's what you want.
Well, listen, y'all can decide how y'all want to do it. It's between y'all. It's called a double up in East Oakland.
Man, I love it, bro. I love it.
So he's basically saying, right? He's basically saying he wants them together, right? So my thing is, how do you not process that as Bill clearly wants that fight with Shakur?
Okay.
Right? Like, he's basically letting Keyshawn know that let's do it, but on the back end, let's make it a package deal. Let's get both of you guys, you know what I'm saying, involved in this. Let's get Shakur involved in this. And once again, Shakur part of these weird conversations, right? Which is why I tell people that Shakur is the money man in the division. You just got to acknowledge to a certain degree that there's something there right now that wasn't there for Shakur 2 years ago, right? Yeah. Shakur didn't have that energy about him. People weren't looking for him that way. And that's why I just try to keep it real with the fans. And I'm not sitting here trying to glaze Shakur or anything like that. But, man, come on. Shaqy Foster wants to fight him. You know what I'm saying? Even Raymond Moritaya wanted to fight with him. There's a lot. Even the Schofields will from time to time talk about.
Roach, his friend, wants to fight.
Lamont Roach wants to fight. Everybody, and clearly Devin and Bill are very interested in the fight, especially if the powers that be, quote unquote, keep on referring to that as the money fight. They're letting you know, hey, we want that fight. So if you can get him to agree, we got this big payday for you. At some point or another, it comes back down to the what are you willing to concede? Am I bugging?
Yeah.
Like, what are you willing to concede? Like, Shakur has
bro, I
good
just
footing, right?
took away the chow mein from the table I'm offering you, and you wanted prawns, man. Like, what's it gonna take here?
I'm
right?
ready to
Like,
go. My car's out front. I already done hit him on a text, told him meet me out front. I'm trying to get myself together, and you're stabbing me. You're telling me put my jacket. Why are you putting your jacket on? I thought we were done. I'm telling you what I've come to do. Now, come on, man. I'm paying my driver about an hour now, damn it. I'm not trying to be pesky, but you know what I'm saying? It's costing, in a minute, it's going to start costing me money, bro. You keep telling me about these prongs. I'm going to hang back with these prongs for a little bit, but I'm telling you, bro, I ain't doing the main. I'm not doing the main. I'm straight on that. I done pushed the plate out to the middle of the table. I'm waiting on the waiter to come get this plate out of here. It's all right, bro. What you want me to tell you? It's all right. It's straight, but I'm not, you know, I'm good.
I think that based on even that, like, that was fun to watch too. Like I said, Bill Haney, okay, so in some ways, I agree that I think, by the way, in the channel, because you guys are really attacking Clay. Like, Clay's not like Team Shakur or Team Haney.
They're kicking me up. They're attacking me?
He's team boxing. No. When we were doing this, right?
Okay.
The other day when we did this, where I was like, I'm going to defend Bill Haney.
Okay.
And then you were doing the Shakur thing. It's like, we're always trying to make the show down the middle, right? So we're just trying to give you perspectives from down the middle. But on that particular day, Clay took the stance of Shakur and I took the stance of the 80s, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now we're about to hear, hopefully, from the man himself. But in this particular one that Clay just showed me, and I just saw that for the first time. But that was literally what I was thinking about, is that Haney's in a good spot. Because, you know, like, he gets to fight one of two or both. What he was saying is both. So how about this, Clay? Maybe the way the contract is working is Haney's willing to concede the 144, right? But what he would like, you know, because the money's right, but what he would like is the guarantee of a second guarantee payday with Keyshawn. And then it's going back to Shakur's team, or more importantly, to Jay Prince, saying, you decide who you want us to whoop on first. Would you like us to whoop on Keyshawn first? Or would you like us to whoop on Shakur first? You guys decide.
I think that there's a little bit of smoke and mirrors going on, right? I'm trying to find this. There's smoke and mirrors going on here.
You're gonna show me something else that I haven't seen, guys. So.
Well, no, not that. I'm trying to find the tweet. Actually, is what I'm trying to do. Oh man, I'm having a hard time finding the tweet here. I'm really trying to find it. But no, what I was gonna say, the smoke and mirrors is that the onus is on Shakur.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
I understand.
There's a picture being painted by the boxing space over what's happening versus what's really happening. And I think there's a big disparity between the two. Right? There's a Shakur's ducking, right? There's a you know what I'm saying? Shakur needs to move up to 147. Shakur's big enough. He's front. There's those stories, right? But then there's this reality hovering over this. People aren't. They're looking away from it, which is somebody wants to fight really. I don't want to say bad to make anybody sound desperate, but wants to fight more than the other person. And another person clearly feels like we don't got to do this.
Right.
I'm good. And we're talking from Shakur all the way to Jay Prince, to his manager, who's also confirmed in front of the world. We good. We just gonna have to wait till later. That's just something we'll do later, man. When Shakur's ready, when he goes up there, he has to take his time, work his way up there. We'll talk later about it. Then you got this other person who's like, well, let's not just leave it there, because we know there's a lot of money on the table. Let's set it up to where, how much time do you need? How much time do you need? Let's put it together one way or the other, because this is a big payday for the both of us. Somebody needs to concede. And if Devin Haney, and I think I just saw my brother Blue put up a thumbnail here. I think he has a thumbnail here where he's speaking on it. And he's saying, oh, no, I haven't watched the video yet. But where he's basically speaking to what you're saying here, where Devin says,
I get both.
So I come down to 144. We gonna fight, right?
Yeah, no, he tweeted it. I'm looking at the tweet right now, bro. He said he's asking it like.
Can you put it
You
in
know.
the private chat so I can pull it up? I
Oh,
can't find it.
sure, Clay. Let me find it for you, and then
Yeah.
I'll send it.
So it's like, are people paying attention to this? Are
Right.
people paying attention? Does that matter or does that not matter? Because at this point, I think to Devin, he's starting to see it's clear as day that it does matter, right? He's starting to see
Right.
that it matters. You know what I mean? He's realizing that it matters. He's realizing like, yo, this fight is slipping away. That he has a fighter.
I
in front of him.
emailed it to you, Clay, because I know it's easier for
Okay.
you to grab it from the email.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. That prior to this, maybe Shakur was like, "No, we're good," and I like the analogy that you were starting to talk about, because you know what's starting to, I mean, and maybe not to this magnitude because I'm being unfair. Shakur isn't as popular as Floyd Mayweather was during a period of time, and Haney isn't as popular right now as Manny Pacquiao was during this time. But this is starting to feel like that 2010. Remember, I was telling you that story when I was with Freddie. We were in Toronto. We were getting ready for a world title fight, right? And we really believed that Floyd was ready to sign and go on the table, and we were going to see Pacquiao Mayweather 2010. What ends up happening, Clay, is it doesn't happen until 2015. So I'm wondering, is Shakur being Floyd? Is Shakur being the Floyd Mayweather to this equation? And where Haney's like, hey, we can get it done right now. And I'm even willing to come down to 144 and get you right now. Because too much money on the line. We're both in our 27, 28. Let's do this right now. And is it possible Shakur is doing the Mayweather going, no,
I mean,
bro,
look,
you know what?
Shakur may be doing the Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? He may be doing the whole entire. I'm straight, legacy intact, man. We both straight, right? Now, not just me, you too. But I'm clearly one of us is okay, and the other one, it is what it is, right? So here's Devin Haney's tweet about 2 hours ago, right? And I guess, listen, here's Shakur saying 144 is fair for two champions in two separate weight classes, which I gotta agree with him.
I agree with that. I agree with it.
I think that's just on for face value. However, anybody wants to feel about it one way or the other, this does make sense what he's saying here. Floyd and Canelo, and I brought this up too. I spoke on this actually last week about Floyd and Canelo.
Yep.
Made one of the biggest fights ever happen at a catch weight.
Yeah. No, and let me speak on this one, Clay. Let's not forget that Floyd Mayweather also fought Juan Manuel Marquez, I believe, at a catch weight of 145, right? This is fair.
Right. And this is part of the game, right?
Yeah.
So he said one of the biggest fights at a catch weight. If y'all seriously want the fight, it would be easy to make. Now, there he goes once again. Not turning away the fight, saying there is a way to this fight.
Right.
Y'all
I'll eat the chow mein if you put some big ass prawns on it.
Right, put some prawns on it. You know what I mean? We work on the price a little bit, you know what I mean? Make it make sense, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I'm not mad at the chow mein. I think that the idea of this chow mein is great, but I think it's missing some things, you know what I mean? Some things. Jose Ramirez at that weight 2 fights ago, and Devin says, if I come to 144, we have a fight. I mean, you got to kind of acknowledge
Keyshawn
it.
Trying to get in the way.
Well, and Keyshawn's like feeling like, man, like for the first time in a long time, yo, Shakur, get out the way, bro. Don't do that. Don't mess with my fight now. This is my fight. I've been asking for this, right? I've been asking for this fight, and you kind of coming to take it a little bit. And you kind of did it to me with Tiafimo a little bit, low key. Like low key, you kind of did it to me too. Not all the way as bad as this one is. Not all the way as bad, but hey,
that's
bro,
wrong, man. Maybe we'll get the Keyshawn fight after this.
I don't know. After a while,
you stole my money, brother.
Keyshawn, this might be a private conversation between two brothers that y'all need to have, but you might need to figure it out in the ring because, listen, man, without a doubt, if there are fighters out there who can choose between Keyshawn and Shakur, I think they're going to pick Shakur 10 out of 10 times, right?
Yeah.
Clearly for the payday. But also, you know, Keyshawn, I mean, Keyshawn's menacing. Like, he could hurt you, knock you out. He's looking to do some crazy things to you. You know, Shakur might be a masterclass, a 12-round masterclass, but you live to fight another day and you get your biggest payday ever. Keyshawn's not going to keep competing in this conversation. And here, Keyshawn is again about to take the back seat to the big fight being made that includes Shakur Stevenson's name. But without a doubt, right, somebody has to concede.
Right.
And that's as simple as it gets. I know people want to make it more than that in the comment section and the fans, and they want to make it more than that. They want to say, nah, Shakur should do this. It's only right this. It's only right that. He's always doing this. He acting like he can't. Okay. But guys, if we're talking about making a fight, there is a way to make this fight, right?
Yeah. He wrote it, by the way. He just wrote it.
Right. There is a way to make this fight, right? Clearly there is a way, and that's what I've been trying to tell everybody. There is a way to make this fight. This isn't all about Shakur just don't want to fight Devin, because that's what people were saying. Shakur just don't want to fight Devin.
Yeah, I mean, he's putting on writing. It's easy to make. He said, right, it's easy to make. We can make it. So
I think he's keeping it real that we're both champions. We're both. I'm a 2-time linear champion. You're a 1-time linear champion. There's obviously a lot of money behind the fight. There's a lot of people who are interested in paying us a lot of money. But I think you deserve respect and I deserve respect.
Right.
I'm coming up. I'll come up 4 pounds. You come down 3. Right. We're both sacrificing.
No rehydration clause. No rehydration clause.
Okay. 144. No rehydration clause, and we make this fight happen.
Right.
I don't know what else people want. I don't see how that's unfair.
Right.
You know, if look, and Devin, listen, if you can't do the weight cut, which is he's entertaining it right there, then just move on. Because I think they've given up a lot of leverage by chasing Shakur at this point this much.
Right.
I think they've given up a lot of leverage at the negotiation table. They've kind of shown their cards a little bit. They've kind of been like, you know what? This is what I've got, right? They've kind of come down at the end of the game and they kind of shown what they've got. And Shakur is the only one who's been like kind of holding it to his chest. Like, I still got my cards, bro, and I still believe in my cards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double up on what I got in the pot. I'm going to ante it up a little bit more.
Right.
And if you want to see my hand, you're going to have to pay to play, brother. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Or fold your hand.
Right.
Fold your hand, bro.
Let me get your real-time reaction on this. I just sent you an email. This is Shakur's tweet. Go ahead and put that on the board. Let me get your real-time reaction.
Hold down for a second. I'm getting a call.
Okay. All right. So, guys, this might be the man himself. I like what's Severe, bro. Severe Raider, guys. Check out my guy. He's got one of the best Raider Nation podcasts out there. He goes, breaking news, Bill Haney actually adopted Keyshawn Davis. So Devin Haney is not allowed to fight him in observance of the Stevenson Accords. That's funny, man. That's funny. Yeah, no, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun, and hopefully we hear from the man himself, because it would be fun to hear him tell it to us, right? Like I said, you don't have to hear it from me or hear it from Clay. If you're hearing it from the actual fighters or their managers or their coaches, then you're hearing it from them. But I know in the hardcore boxing space, Shakur versus Devin Haney, in my opinion, I don't think there's a bigger fight. I think that is the fight. That's wow. That would be like, you know, us finally getting to see like when Sugar Ray Leonard fought Tommy Hearns kind of thing. Go ahead, Clay.
Yeah. Bad news. Something is cooking. I can't communicate why, but I'm just gonna say, from what I'm hearing tomorrow, not forgotten about, but there's a lot going on.
Okay.
There's a lot going on over there right now. You know, I spoke to you about this morning a little bit, and I spoke to on Frequent Channel. I was on Frequent Channel just telling everybody that clearly both of these guys, Shakur and Devin Haney, in the midst of negotiating the biggest deals of their career.
Yes.
That's what's happening in real time. You know what I'm saying? In real time, both these guys are being they're being confronted with the biggest opportunities of their career.
Yeah.
You know,
and who knows when it'll come again. Right? Like that this is a big, like, again, you have to grab the money when it's there, right? Unless, and this is the part where if you're a fighter, I always try to suggest to people this when I was in it, Clay. Don't wait to hear a deal and then you get ready. Be ready so that when the deal comes, all you're working on is the negotiation of the deal. But if you're not ready to say yes to the best deal that you can have in front of you, then that means you weren't ready anyway. So I think both of these guys are ready to say yes. I think that there's the whole chow mein versus honey walnut prawn situation.
Yeah, I think that when it's all said and done, everybody needs to walk away happy with what it is. And I think that's the inconvenient truth for some fans, because I think a lot of people, they did the same exact thing with the Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence. I remember it like it was yesterday, bro. I remember people saying that Terrence was out of his mind doing these counter offers and just come over to the other side, bro, and take, well, you're not worth it. You know what I mean? They were throwing his resume, they were throwing the paper, hey, what stadiums did you pack out? What, Errol's a superstar, blah, blah, blah. They were doing all of this moving around, and Terrence was like, listen, the only person that counts in this conversation is the other fighter. If Errol wants to subscribe to the idea of what his fans are telling him, all he has to do is walk away from this and go make another fight. What did Errol do? Terrence showed the world. Errol, and I remember a lot of his fans were upset with him, with Errol, when he did the deal with Terrence. They were like, you allowed this dude to sit here and play in your face. You should have never fought him. It's like, what? No, listen, some fighters have integrity, bro. Some fighters really want to make the fight and they aren't willing to walk away like Floyd, you know what I'm saying, was doing with Manny for a long time, right? Well, he's like, we don't need to fight at all, bro. Some fighters want that smoke. And I think Devin is in a position right now. And Angelo, we've had these conversations, bro. Me and you, bro. We've had these conversations in depth on this channel about why Shakur's the money man and why. And, people would come up, and I'm going to open the panel in a minute, but people would come up and say, what has Shakur done? What stadium did he pack out? And I said, it's not the same conversation no more, bro. It's not about those numbers that you guys are trying to leverage. It's about if the money is behind him, if he's involved with the money, he has more leverage at the table when it comes to negotiating. And you're not just going to pressure him or dismiss anything that he's done and make him somebody who should be happy to get what he's getting. That's not how business works. That's just not how it works. When you got somebody who's confident in themselves, bro, who brings what they bring. Look, if I got a car you want, bro, and I own the car, I don't care about your story, bro. I'm willing to go put my car back in my garage. We ain't got to do this. You called me. You said you were interested in my car. It is for sale, but there is a price point to it. Don't sit here and try to dismiss. Come on, bro. It's not worth to you. It's not worth it. But then again, you seem to keep stopping me every time I try to load this back up on my flatbed. Every time I try to load this thing back up on my flatbed and take it home, you keep stopping me. You keep stopping me from going home. And I've been ready to go home. So what do you think you're going to do? Are you going to gift of gab me to death? And then I'm going to let you convince me my car is not worth what it is, or are you going to get this car because it's right in front of you, your dream car, the car you've been talking about is right in front of you, perfect paint job, interior smelling great with the black ice hanging from the rear view mirror, leather is soft, you know what I'm saying? Just the one you wanted. That's what you said. But you keep on trying to haggle me down, bro. I'm going to put my car in my garage, bro. I'm straight. I don't even drive this around. I got my own car. This is my
and I don't need the money for the car. Just an extra car in my garage. It's what is happening.
It looks nice in my garage, by the way. I like it. Looks good. When I go in there and look in there, it's a good look. It's not in the way. It's not cluttering up my garage. It's not, I don't got to get rid of it. I'm great. What are you finna do?
What's funny about that analogy though, is, and I don't know if you're ready to put the link up or not, but is Keyshawn like the Harley Davidson that's next to the car? And it's like, but how about if I get the Harley too? And then I'll get the car for what you want, but I want the Harley.
Yeah, package it in. Like, nah, bro, I'm not packaging it, bro. If you want the Harley, here the Harley is available, yes. And you can get that right now on its own without the car you really wanted. You know what I mean? I'm ready to let you get the Harley. It's a nice Harley. It got like, less than 1,000
To be
miles
honest,
on
it's
it.
probably the better car for you.
Yeah.
The better vehicle.
To be honest with you, sir, respectfully, I think you look good on the Harley. Just me, all right? I don't know. I know you like the car, but something about this Harley I like for you. I like this Harley for you. I don't know why you don't
like your type.
just buy the Harley. Buy the Harley, go home with it, and call me later about the car. Drive the Harley around a little bit. You know what I mean? Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, bro. I don't want to sound like this guy who don't want to do business with you. I'm here to do some business with you.
Right.
But hey, man, it's going to be a certain kind of way. And you're going to acknowledge what I'm holding, the cards that I'm holding. You're going to acknowledge. I'm going to put the link out there. Bill Haney's not coming up today. He's tied up in something very important. His people reached out to me and let me know that they apologize for not being able to make it today, but he's saying he wants to know if he can come up tomorrow or Thursday. Like, he wants to definitely come up this week for sure. So he's not dissing the ATP Combat Media family. I apologize. You know what I mean? No bait and switch. Literally dealing with this in real time. You know what I'm saying? But I think they're in the middle of doing things. You know what I'm saying? I think there's a lot going on right now when it comes to the Haneys and when it comes to Shakur's side of the game. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that they're doing something with each other, but I'm just saying
no.
It's going to be up and down with how they move with the media right now, because people are waiting at the edge of their seats for an announcement one way or the other. Even with this Zuffa deal, like, people are waiting on the announcement from Zuffa. There's a lot in the air right now when it comes to them right now. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like there's some key elements that are hanging over this. You know what I mean?
That's why with Dana, if you guys listen to his post-fight press con from Saturday, he said in the next 30 days, there's going to be a lot of announcements. Boom, 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 boom. And you guys are going to see what's in store for what's going to be next. So judge us by the end of the year, right? So 30 days, it's a pretty smart window to say, because, this Shakur and Haney going to Zuffa has been going on for quite a while. I'm sure they're trying to just make sure that on Haney's end, he's getting everything he wants. Shakur's end, he's getting everything he wants. And remember, I told you, man, maybe it's possible that they don't even fight each other right now. Possible. They just go a different direction, Listen,
anything is possible. One thing about the traditional side of boxing is we are not new to this. It is what it is. It's about, listen, it's a negotiation, man. This is the part of the game. And this is what, like I said, fit for negotiation, right? This isn't about Shakur being a mandatory to Devin and Devin not one trying to get, no, this is about a super fight being made with two champions in two different weight classes. You know what I'm saying? Trying to figure out how to make this fight happen and make it happen for the people, and obviously make it happen for the fans. You know what I'm saying? Make it happen for the fans, but also make it happen for boxing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we gotta be patient. We gotta be patient, man. Right? It is what it is. People wanna do with it what you like to do with it. Fight Sports, what's good with your family?
Doing good, guys. Thanks for having me.
No doubt, brother. No doubt, brother. Are you tapped into this? I know that we've talked about this in depth already. And I mean, you kind of made your position felt here, but how do you feel about it today, though, with everything that's coming out right now, even with this Devin Haney tweet right here, right? In particular, hold on a second here. With this Devin Haney tweet right here, what do you think about? This was 2 hours ago. What do you think about it at this point now, from Shakur's point of view, or do you stand in the same place?
Well, mostly I'm in the same place with Shakur. There's no reason for him to say, well, we have to do it at a catch weight. No, you don't. But if Devin's open to it, and this also goes for Keyshawn as well, then, hey, who am I to complain? I mean, I'm not going to. I love it. And it's good news for me specifically because yesterday I was thinking, well, who is Devin going to fight? Because everyone would agree Devin should have fought by now. Now, T.O. blatantly ducked him, so it's not all down to Devin, but still, the guy needs to fight. But who else is there for him? Because Lewis Crocker, well, the other champions in the division, first of all, it's a shallow division, which for welterweight is something I don't think we thought we'd ever say. And Lewis Crocker is new. He wants to build himself back up as a champion right now. So, perfectly fair. And also, Eddie knows how good Devin is. So that fight wouldn't happen right now. Rolly, similar thing. And Ryan Garcia, I mean, just the mere fact that guy's even a champion is still kind of depressing. And who else? Oh, yeah, the Catterall, he just beat Shakram Gyasov, which I said on your show, Clay, he might be the best guy in the division. And I said might, didn't say he is. And the way he lost, it's fine, he can build himself back up, but it's definitely not what I was expecting. So Catterall right now is the guy to beat. But he's a contender, and he is moving in the way of the WBA. So it's a tricky situation where Devin needs to fight. So even though this catchweight stuff is nonsense and it's pointless and it shouldn't be even talked about, I think he knows, well, if I want to fight it, have to, as you said, have to concede, even if it's stupid as hell. And the catchweight's not going to affect him. It's just a pointless catchweight thing. So, yeah, those are my thoughts.
Well, listen,
hey, Clay,
right?
Can you look at your email too? Because I sent you the Shakur response, and then
we
you
got
can
the
show
Cholula.
that.
You got the Cholula out. Hold on, let me go. I already know it's about to go down right now. I'm looking.
I don't know what kind of hot sauce you use, Clay, but
I use it all. I got the Valentina. I got the
Valentina.
Okay.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm with the Cholula. You know what I mean? I rock out with a little bit. We West Indian, man. We rock out with the hot sauce, man. Depending, there's levels to this game, right, Angelo? Depends. Right now, you're on a flavorful level. I see what you're doing right now. You're trying to
right. Yeah. No. I guess it's early in the morning, bro, and your stomach can only handle so much.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You just want a little. You want a little kick. You want a little on it, but you don't want to do nothing crazy.
Yeah. I'm not trying to kill myself, man.
All right. So what part of this you want? Because I'm looking at it right now and I'm seeing the same.
No. It's his response. So it's Shakur Stevenson's answer to the question.
Right. You said yes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And let me see. I'm trying to look at it because it looks like there's a little bit of a thread here. But fight sports, right? I want to be clear, right? I try to challenge the community to let's remove, because you said something significant earlier. You said it doesn't have to be at 144, right? Which I agree with you. I don't think this is about it has to be at 144 as far as the ability or inability for Shakur to do 147, right? I think that's definitely, I think Shakur can fight at 147. Shakur wants to fight at a catch weight because he's managing this fight starting from outside the ring before they get in the ring, right? He's saying, listen, let's come to the table. No rehydration clause, but you come down to 144. I'll meet you at 144. He says here, we're two champions. It's only fair. We're two champions here. You know what I'm saying? We are definitely two champions. Hold on. Let me pull that up as well. Hold on. I want to pull that up. Hold on a second here. Wait, here we go right here. So let me make sure we're good. All right, let's pull this up real quick, add to the stage. Okay. He says 144 is fair for two champions in two separate weight classes. He says Floyd and Canelo made one of the biggest fights ever happen at a catch weight. If y'all seriously wanted the fight, it would be easy to make. Y'all fought Jose Ramirez at that exact weight 2 fights ago. So what is Shakur saying here? He's going, I think the most important thing about it is that first line. 144 is fair for two champions in two separate weight classes. In other words, I shouldn't have to concede to you as a champion because you are, and you shouldn't have to concede to me as a champion. We should both be treated as champions and meet in the middle and show an equal amount of respect for each other. What do you think about that, Fight Sport?
Well, just for the record, I didn't really have a strong. Okay, I hated the catchweight. I want to make this clear. I hated the catchweight for Devin Ramirez, but because it was for a non-title fight, I didn't even really think about it. But everything I just said about it being pointless, same thing. So, yeah, I hear what you're saying. This is why guys always look for catchweights. This is why guys look for rehydration clauses to manage the risk. But when two guys are basically the same size, give or take a bit. I know Devin's naturally bigger, but Shakur, like I said, he's not a. First of all, this is not like some old washed-up, punchy so-and-so who's being forced to fight some young gun who outmatches him in every single department. They're both young. They know each other. The catch weight is just so pointless. And my biggest problem with Shakur is that he hasn't brought up catch weights for any other fighter. So therefore, I just can't get behind it. But,
but fight sports, right? Fight sports, right?
Yep.
This isn't just any other fighter. I was talking about this last night on my brother Flyers channel and saying, listen, bro, because there was people on there talking about the Conor Ben, Devin Haney situation. They were saying, well, listen, man, he didn't ask Conor Ben to do all of this. He was ready to fight Conor Ben at 154 at one point in time. If he's able to go up and wait for Conor and do these, why is he making Devin concede to all these? Because all fighters aren't the same. This is a respect towards Devin Haney, without a doubt, from Shakur Stevenson, who's acknowledging the caliber of fighter Devin is, right? And he's saying, man, this is not a fighter that I want to go up there and just give up, concede all things. I'm going to use everything. You know what I'm saying? This is equivalent to saying, why did you go toe to toe with this fighter and you punched on him, you let him punch on you, and you made this exciting fight? Why did you choose to be on your bicycle in this other fighter with this other fighter? Why did you stay behind your jab? Why did you not engage the way you engage the other fighter? Because this other fighter is way more dangerous. He's a bigger puncher. And I wouldn't carry myself in the ring with this guy the way I carried myself in the ring with this other guy. They're not the same fighters. It's not a cookie cutter thing. But on top of that, right? Shakur made his stance point clear. This is where I'm at, and this is where I'm willing to walk away if we can't meet in the middle. Devin could walk away, but he's not walking away. Would you agree with that? That he's the one who's pushing for this fight to happen. Would you agree with that?
100%.
All right. So that being said, if you're pushing for this fight, you're not willing to walk away from this or give it time. In other words, I think in a certain world, I can see this fight happening sometime in 2027, towards the end of 27. I could see Shakur doing some things at 135, at 140, and then eventually making his way to 147, like Jay Prince said. He's like, yo, he's gonna, and Shakur said, I plan on, ending my career at 147. Like, I plan on going to 147. So there's room for us to do it there. But if Devin is going to push for the fight to happen, if Team Haney is pushing for the fight to happen, isn't it on them to concede some ground at this point? If you want the fight that bad, isn't that how it goes? Isn't that what Terrence had to do with Canelo? Isn't that what, isn't that the story of boxing, that you come to me? Didn't Tank do that to a lot of fighters? He did that to Ryan Garcia. He did that to fighters who wanted to fight him and get their biggest paydays. Isn't that part of the game?
It is, and I agree with you. This that fighters, if fighters want the fight more than somebody else, they have to be prepared to do more than that somebody else. But I'm not okay with that in regards to Shakur, because aside from everything I just mentioned about the youth, the size and everything, Shakur has called Devin out. And on top of that, he did I still look at this and I call it the unthinkable. He turned the fight down when he was given a chance for undisputed after the Lomachenko decision. I mean, that's just ludicrous to me. I understand that what you said, Clay. I understand that more with Keyshawn Davis, because Keyshawn, even though he's huge, and him and Devin would be about the same size in the ring, he's young enough to where he does have other options. Even though I think with his attitude, he's could be missing weight at 140 as well. He has a stacked division to go after. 140 is so stacked that it needs a guy like Keyshawn, but he could easily fight Devin. And okay, he does have other options. Shakur, because he just beat Teo, because I understand he's not pushing for the fight as much as Devin is. But the problem I have with that is that it's pretty much a duck, because he fought. I know you. The look on your face is hilarious.
No, I ain't gonna lie. The duck word gets used loosely. It's like, he's a duck. He's not even in the
May I respond?
Clay.
May I say something, Clay? Hey, fight sports. Can I respond, Clay? Can I respond to you, fight sports?
Yeah, man.
Go ahead.
So one of my issues with these types of conversations, right, is this, man. First of all, how do we want to sit here and act like we are in these individuals' bodies? Like that's ludicrous to me that you can sit back and say, well, they're basically the same size. They're basically, what does any of that mean? It means nothing. Like I'm 5'7", but when people look at me, they think I weigh a lot less than what I actually weigh. You know what I mean? And versus somebody else who may be 5'7", who weigh actually less than I weigh. The reality is that we're not in their bodies. Shakur just had one fight at 140. How many divisions have Shakur already fought at and has been a champion at? Can anyone tell me how many divisions so far?
Is it 4 right now?
That's 4 divisions, correct? Okay. So how fair are we if we're looking at Shakur, who had one fight at 140, to now immediately go into fight another division, etc.? Like, I think the catch weights aren't always a tool used to get an advantage. What if a catch weight is just used to be a meeting point for two great fighters to even the playing field, which is greatness doesn't always go in one direction. Greatness also goes in the other direction. If you're a great fighter and I'm a great fighter, but we're in 2 different weight divisions and we know that we can make the biggest money ever, okay, I'll tell you what. I'm at 140, you're at 147, let's meet in the middle. Why is it not perceived as both fighters willing to make concessions to give the fans the best fight ever? You know what happens is because we believe the narratives. And you know what the narrative is? When Devin said, oh, I feel my best at 147, everybody runs with it now. Oh, yeah. Anything less than 147, he's just completely trash. No. So why can't it be that Shakur feels his best at 140? How come no one comes and defends him? How come no one says, hey, maybe Shakur feels his best at 140, right? It doesn't work that way. You know why? Because there's a quiet hate, and I don't know why. The reality is this. He is at his 4th weight division. Devin is at what? That's his 3rd or 2nd? Third. Okay. We're expecting Shakur to go to his 5th weight division with no problem. And he's saying, hey, look, I don't mind doing it. But let's do it at a catch weight. Why are we demonizing catch weights? Why? Because certain other people utilize catch weights to get an advantage. Is that why? So we want to say that catch weights are just, it applies to everyone using a catch weight are just trying to get an advantage. Why can't it be maybe the 2 best fighters meeting in the middle? Why is that not the narrative?
I'll tell you why. Hold on, Ray. Hold on. Before we just jump into it, I want to have this. I want to participate in this a little bit with Triple Four because I think he's hitting on all cylinders here, right? And I even have to fall back because even my verbiage, because this is how I see it, what he's saying, right? But my verbiage also, I was an enabler in the conversation because I was sitting here saying Shakur's managing his risk, right? But he is managing the risk, but he's not draining Devin Haney. He's not looking to weaken Devin Haney as much as I think a bypart of it is maybe Devin may be a little weaker. Maybe, I don't know, right? Because I'm not in Devin's body either, right? I'm not in his body either. But from Shakur's point of view, is no, let's even this playing field because you can't make 140 without being depleted. You had to run out of 135 because you were doing some crazy diabolical weight cuts. I'm still in my prime at 135. I'm making that weight and competing at the highest level and ready to do whatever at 135. So that right there tells me as a boxing fan, everybody is, they can get their own opinion on it. But me personally says that Shakur is naturally more of a 135, 140 pounder, and Devin isn't, which makes Devin clearly a legitimately bigger fighter than Shakur, right? And I love the idea of what Triple Four is saying as far as we're not in their bodies. Only Shakur can tell you what his comfort zone is, where he's strongest at, where he feels great at. Devin clearly knows that as well because he's made up his mind a long time ago that he wasn't going to come down no more because he felt the price he paid for cutting that weight and being depleted and how much of what kind of risk he was taking to be down there. Both of these guys have a legitimate argument here. If there's a fight to be made, as I've always stated, both sides have to walk away happy from this. Shakur is willing to go up to a certain point to make this fight. Devin, you can either stand your ground at 147 and say, that's not for me. I'm done with that part of my career. Or you can do what it looks like he's doing right here, which is he looks like he's about to entertain going down to 144 to make this fight happen. Clearly, one side wants to fight right now more than the other one. And that's how it goes in negotiation. That's how the leverage goes.
Hey, can I just add one really quick thing? Then you guys could respond. This is going to be really fast. So, Clay, because I was at Wildcard Gym during this time too, people forget this fact, and I remember it because when it was getting negotiated, Manny Pacquiao, when he fought Miguel Cotto, that was also at a catch weight. Miguel Cotto had to come down to 145. Pacquiao came up to 145. Well, Pacquiao was walking around 144 anyway, so he just basically was eating all the Filipino food, walked in there. But right. Cotto had to come down to 145. So anyway, go ahead.
All right. Go ahead, so I'm glad you guys are on board in this. I have no problem with anything that anyone said, but the fact that we're forgetting the key word here, the 147-pound division, which includes all weights over 140.1, any number after that. So therefore, he is capable and able of making anything over 140. Guess what? He's in the division. He can fight at 147. I don't see why there has to be a catch weight stipulation. The point is, the men should fight at their strengths, not their catch weights, not where one is depleted, not where one is this, not where one is that. At their strengths, both of them, make the fight happen. Reason why? I heard Devin said that it's going to hurt him to go to 144. He said it before. I heard Shakur mention that he has the advantage at 147. I need the advantage at I need to have an advantage too. I'm sorry, is what he said. So we need to make it happen at 144. But this is the same guy that really went on a freaking radio station saying, I don't care how big he gets. I'll go up there. I'm a better boxer. My skills are better applied in the ring. I can beat him no matter how big he gets. So now we're playing semantics and we want this guy to come down because we're in a realization of that being before the Norman fight. And we seen him run around in the ring and the Tom and Jerry placed on him and what's the name, right? Where they both had to come out and show their brace and their balls and get in there and fight. Now we have a situation where, okay, you know what? This is more, I bit off more than I could chew. All he has to do is admit that. And I think that's really what it comes down to. It's both sides too. Devin can say, look, man, I really don't want to come down there. I feel like I'm too big to come down there. Admit that on his end, right? And I mean that like seriously. Shakur needs to say, look, I didn't think Devin was going to be as good as he was at 147. I thought he'd still be the same guy. I thought he was at 135. But you know what? He's better than I thought he was. So I'm going to sit back and I'm going to realize that I ain't got to go up there. I can wait my turn. And this is the reason why we have these situations that happen. But we can look at it for what it is, man. At the end of the day, I just want to see him fight. So if it's at 144, Bill just was on the clock the other day on Frequent Channel saying Devin weighs in at 146. You know what I mean? So coming down to the 145, that might be an answer, right? If coming down to 144, that's only another 2 pounds. So it might be fine for him. But then again, maybe it's not because those last 2 pounds is where it hurts. So I land my plane.
Listen, I'm going to go to Blaze after this. I hear what people, I think without a doubt, Shakur could go up to 147 without a doubt. Does it fit his game plan for his career? If it doesn't, listen, man, he's Shakur has made it clear what he's willing to do. Because you said something earlier about just say Devin is this. He doesn't have to acknowledge all that. He doesn't have to go into Devin is better than what I thought he was. What does that mean? No, it's not about him being better than what I think. I already given Devin his flowers. I already said he's a great boxer. He's a great fighter. He's not like everybody else. I don't need to glaze Devin in any kind of way. All I need to do is make my position clear. And I think Shakur hasn't played not one game when it comes to making his position clear. 144 or Lamont was good. After you get this Williams and Payton fight and we can fight, okay, cool. I got a division, Gary Antoine Russell. I got Dalton Smith. Shaki wants to come up to 140 and fight me. Okay, Shakur's already done this. He's already looking this way, and he keeps getting this tap on his shoulder, saying, "Come on, champ! Come on, champ!" And he's like, "You're still here? I thought we already. What's going on?" Man, we got a lot of money on the table. We got a lot of money on making this fight, man. Come on, man. Oh, okay. I mean, I hear you, bro. Well, 144 is fair for 2 champions in 2 separate weight classes. Here's an example of when it happened in history to make a big fight. And if y'all seriously, big words, I don't know how many syllables that is, seriously, 3 syllables, right? Seriously want this fight, if y'all seriously want this fight, it's easy to make. You know what I'm saying? It's an easy fight. It's an easy fight to make. Let me know. How is Shakur Stevenson coming to Devin Haney, where Devin Haney reigns supreme, give Shakur anything in this negotiation? How is that not all the cards on Devin Haney's side and nothing for Shakur? How are people not able to acknowledge that? To say that I'm telling you respectfully, my manager Jay Prince said it probably in the most respectful way between 2 players, between Bill Haney as a player in the game and between Jay Prince as a player respectfully. That's not what I'm doing with my guy right now. This is where we at. We good, man. We just got to do this another time. You've circled the block. And you're back here on this fight happening. The onus is not on my guy to concede. It's on you, because you can walk away as well and go do whatever the other options that are on the table for you. Clearly, one of them, by the way, Jay Prince responding not only by saying Shakur ain't ready, but saying you want to fight, you clearly need a fight. I got one. My young bull Keyshawn, he ready to come up to 147 right now. We done petitioned the WBO. You need a fight, clearly, because you keep on knocking at my door for one of my fighters. But one of them, he's not trying to do that right now the way you want it done. He's trying to do it in another way. You're not willing to meet in the middle, so here's my other guy. I'm hooking you up, but you're back at my guy, which makes him valuable. It automatically does that. You keep bothering me for this Apple phone. I told you I'm not really interested in selling it for less than $1,000, but you keep on beating at my door. You're making this more valuable than it is. So clearly you want this fight. That's what it comes down to. This is not about Shakur being unfair. This is about Shakur trying to meet you halfway. Unfair is, I'm not fighting you, bro. Clearly that's unfair, because clearly the money wants you and Shakur. So when Shakur walks away and says, I just don't want to fight you, now he's taking money out your pocket. He's taking food out of your mouth. Now it's crazy. But he's not doing that. He's saying, I hear you, champ. Here are the stipulations. What's the problem? Blaze bounce? Oh, damn. I got along with Blaze bounce. Maybe he'll come back up.
Who said that, Clay?
Listen, who said what?
What you just said. Like, where'd that all come from? Or you just explaining?
Well, no, I'm responding to you because you're saying that Shakur you're saying he should go to 147. I'm saying why should
No, I said he's already, if he goes over 140, he's already in the division, is what I said. Anything over 140.1.
So 144 is okay.
He can fight at 144 and Devin can stay at 146. They're still at 147. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, but at the same time, that's okay.
It's 3 pounds, bro. Come on.
No,
man.
listen.
You really ain't gonna do that.
We got to be honest and say that we got to be honest. Okay, I'm just being honest. Like, respectfully, it just sounds like we're fanaticking, fanboying Devin, right? We're saying we keep coming back to the same point here, which is Shakur should be okay with Devin doing Devin, right? And we're not acknowledging.
I'm okay with both of those things.
Well,
but go ahead. Because I'm my real quick. So let me be clear. My point is, and I'm going to always bring this up because I've heard Devin be called a duck. It had nothing to do with fandom or anything, because I like both fighters. They called a duck from 135 because he moved up because he couldn't make weight, and he offered 25% for the fight. So he's been called a duck this whole time by Shakur fans, by a lot of people, and I can name a lot of other people that I don't want to name, right? But then this guy refuses to move up 7 pounds to fight a guy who's calling him out now because of weight issues, right? Which he can possibly make. We all acknowledge he can possibly make. But what I'm saying is, if he's going to come in at 146 anyway, or 145, he could possibly make, then make the fight at 140, or 145, 147 anyway. Because you're going to rehydrate anyway, right? If he goes to 144 and that's too much off his body, like I said, those last few pounds, them shits hurt. We all know that.
Okay, so
But
why doesn't Devin just fight Keyshawn? Why does it keep on beating? Why are they beating? This is where I'm lost at, right?
Can I go ahead, Clay?
Go ahead, Triple Four. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna
No,
leave it there.
fight,
And go ahead.
I think Fight Sports. Did you want to say something before I go?
Yeah, I'll just say to Clay's point, I am the last person to be a fan of Devin. I mean, I've got nothing against the guy, but I'm not a big fan of him. I'm just calling it how I see it. And the reason I use the word duck is because, again, I know he didn't technically do it at 147, but still, you call a guy out, you call a guy out. If we're going to say, oh, but they're in different divisions, this is, again, not a case of one guy being so much naturally bigger than the other. These guys know each other since they were kids. There's no... okay, if Shakur has called for the fight as many times as he has, which he has done, this is not a figment of my imagination, then there is no reason for him not to go to welterweight. So, and that's not me being a fan of Devin. That's me just holding him to the standard of you call it out.
Let me confront you on your thought a little bit and I'm gonna send you a question right back at you. What does that exactly mean? What does that mean that he has no reason not to go to 147? What does that mean? I just want to know from your perspective, what does that mean? Mm-hmm.
Because that's where, well, I'm not quite sure what you mean.
What I mean is you're saying that's like, I think it's kind of like dismissive of Shakur as a man being allowed to move his career accordingly, right? What I mean by that is I'm not the one. It'd be different if Shakur was pressing Devin for the fight. If Shakur was the one pressing Devin for the fight, I would be right on board with you. Like, yo, Shakur, you got to go fight him in his weight class. The same way Terrence did with Canelo, right? Terrence is pushing for the Canelo fight. Canelo's like, there's nothing in this fight for me. And Terrence conceded him like, bro, I'm going to come up to your weight class. No rehydration clause. I'm the one looking for the opportunity. You have the opportunity I want. I will do what I'm supposed to do to make the fight happen. This is reverse. This is Shakur saying, I am a 135-pound fighter. I didn't even plan on staying at 140. I came up here to beat up T.O. real quick, do something special, and get back to 135. The WBC got political with me because of my big brother Terrence. They played me, stripped me of my title. But, hey, I'm not going to cry over spilled milk. There's opportunities here at 140. There's opportunity. I'm good. But 147 was never in my conversation. That's not what I planned on doing. You guys keep trying to leverage this Conor Benn thing that I did off the strength of Conor Benn being who he is and me just calling him out for what I see him do with Chris Eubank. That was personal between me and Conor Benn, and I was carrying it. I made it clear what my position was, that you just did this to Chris Eubank. I'm going to do it to you. But I didn't tell the world I was going to campaign at 147. I said I was going to do this one thing, but I've always come back to the same point of I am a 135, 140 pounder. That's where I want to be. That's it, right? What we keep dismissing it. And now we're to the point now to where you're saying he has no reason not to go to 147. Right. So I'm asking you, what do you mean by he has no reason not to go to 147 when all he's done is give reasons? I'm a 135, 140 pound fighter. I don't want to be there right now. I plan on being there later. I want to do things here at 135, 140. What do you mean by he has no reason?
Because these are the smaller divisions. This is not Jael Pataya being forced to go to heavyweight because all of the guys are ducking him. And, okay, yes, Shakur is naturally smaller than Devin, but not by much. And, okay, he hasn't called for the fight at 147, to be fair, but he has called for the fight. He's also...
No. Let's fight sports. Let's be... wait. Fight sports. Let's be honest. He has not called for the Devin Haney fight. Why are you saying that? Well, That's not true.
Well, Clay, I was about to finish.
Okay.
recently, as in the last year and a half, 2 years, I like the way you keep everybody on their toes. He hasn't technically called for the fight, but previously he did. He claimed, well, Devin walked out of the ring after the Lomachenko fight and to get away from me, and Devin did I thought Devin was going to avoid the fight, but he did the unthinkable, and he offered Shakur the fight with pretty reasonable money agreements, and Shakur turned it down. So this is what I'm
Fine.
saying. Like when
Well, but we're going to talk back and forth. I'm going to talk with you, right? I don't want to. I'm not cutting you off. Trust me. I respect your.
Sure,
I'm very interested in your take. I want your take so bad. So please don't take it as I'm trying to
Of course.
derail you. All right. So fine. I'm in agreement with you about what happened at 135 between Shakur and Devin. 100%. Shakur was asking for the fight. Devin gave him an opportunity for the fight at what I think hindsight, most people would agree with you that was a fair offer. Shakur being
Very
young, mismanaging his leverage, thought he leveraged more at the table than he really did, didn't acknowledge that Devin, who had options, soon as it didn't go Devin's way, he used his options. Devin is nowhere near a duck of Shakur Stevenson. That's not what that is. Shakur messed that up. Fine. But we're in another season right now, in another conversation where the leverage has moved around. At a minimum, it's 50-50. And one would argue with Devin's team's perspective on this conversation, he's given up some leverage and given some to that Shakur arguably has more leverage right now because of the position that the Haneys are taking on making this fight, especially on the back end of a Keyshawn Davis fight being on the table, right? So now they have an option, but they're like, we don't want that. We really want Shakur. So, okay, fine. So Shakur, well within his right to manage his own career where it's at right now. Why, once again, I'll send it back to you. Are we saying, or are you saying, Shakur has no reason? Did Devin Haney have a reason to go to 140? Could he have not stayed there at 135 and fight Shakur and negotiate and do all that? No, he had a reason. I don't want to do this weight cut no more. I was willing to do it. You don't want to give me my price point. I'm moving on to 140. That was well within his right. Why are we saying Shakur doesn't have a real reason to go to 147 when he's told you the reason? He said it. The reason why is 135, 140. Fights here for me right now. This is where my body feels good at. Here are my reasons. Why are none of those things a legitimate reason for you?
Well, first of all, I'm glad you brought up him going to 147 in the first place and not staying at 140. I originally had a problem with that because I thought for the first time in the history of ever, welterweight is weak. So I didn't love it. Now, Brian Norman was the best fight, but he was a bit of an unknown. I was okay with it for several reasons. Like, you look at the other champions at 140 at the time, Gary Antoine Russell, great fighter, but he's with PBC, and PBC are just difficult, especially when the Tank fight was never made. And, I just felt that the fight was never going to happen because of PBC and Al Heyman. Richard Hitchens, he was a great challenge, I felt, but he's been such a disappointment as a champion. Lopez, I've given up asking Lopez to do anything because the guy's a pain in the ass, and he's just a disappointment all around. Dalton Smith wasn't champion at the time, so moving up to fight the best guy at 147, I would have preferred him to stay at 140, but none of the fights were that easy to make, and Brian Norman was a decent challenge. So, okay, to answer your question, why does Shakur have no reason to stay at why, in my opinion, should Shakur take the fight at 147? Again,
well, not in your opinion why he should. I know what, but when you're saying specifically when you say he has no good reason.
Oh, right. Because there's no big weight jump. He's called for the fight at previous times, not recently, but he has called for it in the past. He claimed Devin ducked him. When he ducked the fight, and this is my biggest problem right now. He's told he gets.
Also, do you acknowledge that Shakur's back down from that standpoint that he doesn't feel like Devin ducked him? He's acknowledged it in multiple interviews, saying, "Nah, Devin didn't duck me, bro." He's like, he's acknowledged everything about that whole entire situation, saying that was just things moved really fast. Devin didn't duck me. He said it. Devin did what he had to do, man. I just thought
Yeah,
we were in a different place. He acknowledged that it's not a duck.
Yeah, Shakur backtracked the same way he backtracked
Yeah.
about Turkey Al Sheikh a day after he criticizes him. So
It's
I mean,
it's a backtrack. That's how it comes, right? That's how backtracks work. I mean, you're right.
Shakur,
I agree with the example you just made, by the way. Yeah.
Right. So right. So yes, he's backtracked, but this is
But if I apologize, I apologize, right? If Fight Sports, if I said something crazy to you and we done got into it, and when I finally see you again, I said, yo, bro, my bad, bro. I was yes, it doesn't take away what I said. I still said it. But we gotta acknowledge my apology, right? Like I did just apologize, right? It is official.
Of course,
right?
but I hold Shakur to the same standard I hold Tio to. Don't complain about being underpromoted by Top Rank, who's okay. No, none of us like Bob Arum, but don't complain about it. And then you get the biggest money man in boxing, and you say, "Well, this guy's just as bad." And then you say, "Oh, I didn't mean that." It's like, shut the fuck up.
He's growing. We gotta be. I'm gonna move on. I don't want to cut you because I got other people who want to talk. But I'm just gonna say it's definitely up to you to give the grace or not give the grace. So if you don't want to wield the grace, I can't be mad at you. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I think personally for me, he's come to the table to redeem himself in his low moments, right? Like he had a low moment with Turkey. He had to humble himself and be like, yo, young, dumb, full of cum, pause, you know what I'm saying? Jump the gun. That's not probably the way I should have handled it. It is what it is. Devin, no, you're not a duck. He's not a duck, bro. Devin's a great fighter. He clearly was having a hard time making the weight. We saw it. I thought I had more leverage at the table than I really did. Mismanagement. I was a young guy. I'm older now. I'm a father. I'm raising children. I'm not the same guy I was 3 years ago. And I won't, in 5 years from now, I'm not going to be the same guy today that I was today. We're growing. I can't take that back, but nothing that's been said so far justifies him not making a rational decision about his career today. Because he can't, there's no redeeming that. So in the spirit of whatever happened at 135, I don't pay for it by doing something that's not beneficial to me today to make people happy about what happened years ago. It is what it is. Shout out to I said just Blaze. Blaze, pound for pound in the building, man. Blaze was good, man. Thanks for coming back up. My bad for stalling you out, brother. I was stalling
nah, it's good. It's good. I had a call, so that's why I had
wait. Before you go, let me get at this super chat because I know V Mason's probably like, come on, bro, read my shit. My bad, bro. Shout out to V Mason. I appreciate the love, man. With the $5 says Haney already set this precedent. He fought Ramirez, capital word, and agreed to fight Tio at a catch weight after that. Should be no problem to do it for Shakur. I hear you, brother. And shout out to I'm Just Someone in the building with $5 says Key doesn't have anything Devin wants. I agree, except for a fight. Right? No legacy, no belts. And listen, we're going to have that belt conversation in a little bit. Blaze, what's good with you, family? Blaze, are you there? All right, Blaze seems to be having audio issues. It is what it is. Shout out to wait, hold on. Shout out to Betting Related saying, did I miss Bill Haney here? Bill Haney had to cancel last minute. He's talking about coming up either tomorrow or Thursday. He had something pop up. I know what it is that popped up and everything, but I can't speak on it. I've been sworn to secrecy to not do that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, unfortunately, no Bill Haney today. It is what it is, man. Hold on one second here. What am I missing here? Coach Bernard Hackett, Flyer, Joseph Jackson. Salute to everybody in the building. Listen, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, there's a lot of us up here, so please be respectful of each other and let's let each other speak right now. Obviously, I'm gonna tap into Coach Bernard Hackett. I know he's in the building. Coach, what's good with you?
Nothing, man. Just listening to the show. Think you all have a great one going here. As somebody who used to give Bill and Devin grief, I used to give them grief. I must say, in the past 2 years, I've completely changed my thought on Devin and on Bill. I think they do good business. I think they really do. I think Devin may be out of his class the only one that wants to actually make real fights. It's not about winning or losing. This depth to Devin is just being in the fights. I think if situations are put in the fair favor, Devin will fight anybody. I think that where he is renowned in his career, if guys are smaller, let them be smaller. If they're not willing to see you at something that we both can agree on, and you have the potential to be bigger, you just have to do what you got to do. I think when you talk about the Shakur situation, I think it's a great fight. I think the Keyshawn fight, if I was in that situation, I'd want to fight Shakur first. Shakur is the less dangerous of the fight. You can lose and it'll be more of a masterclass. Where Keyshawn, I think Keyshawn is more of a Batman than he may see himself being in that situation. And he definitely is the more dangerous fight with the potential of being knocked out. But as far as with the boxing situation, boxing is almost binding us to something that we can't see. If you're asking Devin to fight Keyshawn, if Keyshawn beats him, the only logical fight you want to see is Keyshawn and Shakur, which we know we're not going to get. If it's the other way around, it's the same thing. So, Devin is the only one that we really want to see win, so we can possibly get those two good fights, because the way that Keyshawn and Shakur moving, they'll never be in a ring together. So why would you even care to see them at the same weight class, number one and number two? That's robbing the boxing public.
Coach, can I ask you a question? And the question I'm going to ask you real quick, and then I'm going to Blaze because he's in the building, and I really want him to get. I know he keeps going. I'm assuming he got a lot going on, and he's going back and forth. I want to give him a chance to speak. As a trainer and an advisor of a fighter right now, I'm going to say, I'm not sure if you're legitimately managing Jaleel right now, but at a minimum, you are an advisor to Jaleel, and you're definitely Jaleel's trainer. So that being said, if Jaleel is in Shakur's position right now, right? And what I mean by that is I want to be specific because I know Jaleel's a dog and he probably just go to 147 and make the fight happen. But what I'm saying is if he's in a position right now where he's a highly sought after fighter, right? His division is 160. He has opportunities there. He's a two-time lineal champion at this point. There's fights to be made there. There's money there for him. It's not as much money as Devin. It's not the most money, but it's enough to where a fight with, let's say, somebody who's trying to push him to 168. And they're like, listen, man, this is a big fight. We want to see this 168 guy fight against Jaleel. Jaleel says, listen, I'm really a 160 guy, and I've got a lot to do at 160. I'm not really trying to go to 168 and then be done with you and then come back to 160. I still have things I want to do at 160. So Jaleel says, let's make the fight at 164. I'll meet you halfway. Just to make a super fight, we clearly got somebody with a lot of money in the conversation involved in this who wants to give us both our biggest paydays. Is that unfair for Jaleel to ask for the 164? A, and B, if Jaleel walks away and says, all right, man, we just can't make it happen. I'm cool, bro. I'm going to be at 160. But the guy keeps pushing for Jaleel to make the fight happen. Isn't it on the guy at some point or another? Doesn't Jaleel kind of gain leverage just by default off the strength of he's made his position clear, but the other guy hasn't walked away from the table and still keeps wanting to fight? How do you feel about that?
I think if it's my son's situation and I'm telling him, the best thing to do, and we know that the money behind this fight is guaranteed money. It's not like they're going to say you get 20 million, but then later on, oh, it really meant 13. I think Jaleel is going to do 64. And me, if I'm advising him, and everything else we got at 60 is 4 million, 6 million, something like that, I'm going to advise him to take the 64. Meet him at 164.
Coach, real quick. I'm saying is the guy's pushing him to go to 168. He doesn't want to go to 164. So Jaleel's offered the fight to the guy and like, okay, that's not my plan to fight you right now because I'm at 160 and I'm a sought after fighter. I've got, let's say, 3 to 4 fights that are worth about 4 to 6 million apiece that add up to 24, 20 million when it's all said and done. You're still the big fight for the money, but I'm not trying to go to 168 because it kind of eliminates, because in my mind, if I go to 168, I'm not coming back to 160. I'm not doing that. But I don't want to do that because as much as I want the money, and we're going to get to the money, I'm also a legacy fighter. I believe in unifying. I believe in I'm being undisputed. I believe in all these different things that also drive me with the money. Let's meet at 164, but the guy keeps coming back to the table after he's moved on from your offer, your counter offer, and he wants you to go at 168. What do you advise Jaleel to do at that point as Jaleel's advisor?
Make it definitively known that we're not doing it and schedule my next fight at 160. I mean, the only thing that eliminates the conversation is me scheduling my next fight at 160. But the longer I stay out of the ring, the longer I don't have anything scheduled, and the longer I entertain arguments and conversation, it actually puts me at a weaker point, because now you start getting the fans to saying, well, hey, there are other opportunities at your weight class. Then why don't you just take those instead of keep back and forth conversation about something you made clear you're not going to that division up to fight him?
Okay, I see that, right? But let's add to it that Jaleel's in the middle of negotiating his biggest contract and deal of his career right now. Outside of that fight right now, he's in the midst of, he's not signed to nobody. He's independent, and right now there's a company with all the money in the world called Zuffa negotiating with him in real time. So he's not going to pull the trigger on a fight right now. He's going to iron out this deal, however long it takes. He doesn't even plan on fighting until September, October. That's when he plans on getting back in the ring. Where's the pressure on Jaleel to make something happen in order to prove that, to take his name out of the conversation? At some point, isn't Jaleel's word on, isn't, because I'm making you Jay Prince, because you are Jay Prince in this conversation. You've already spoken to the other manager in front of the world and said, nah, it's like this, or we ain't got to do it. You've already represented Jaleel's interest. And you also know that you're in the midst of negotiating Jaleel's biggest contract he's ever had. At some point, doesn't Jaleel get the grace to not have the pressure to put a fight on to prove something that his manager's already spoken clearly to the world and said, nah, we good. We're going to do that another time. We'll meet up later, bro. When we go up, because Jaleel plans on going to 168 at one point, but he's not doing that right now. So we'll do it later. Yes, how do you feel about that?
And once again, if we as a team have sat down and my word has been the bonding word, if you heard it from me, you heard it from Jaleel, then once I made my statement, then I'm asking Jaleel, do not get in the back and forth banter at all with the other fighter. Because if we've made our stance, then we've made our stance and we've drawn the line. But if we haven't made our stance, then keep going back and forth and let me know what you really want to do. Because at this point now, you're starting to make me look like a fool.
Well, no, he's made, coach, he's made his point clear. He said he's responding, but what he's saying is, damn, bro, I done told you 164. I don't know what else to tell you. Like, if y'all really want the fight as bad as y'all want it, I done told y'all what it is. Other than that, I'm not interested, right? So it's not that I'm going back and forth on a negotiation. What I'm saying is, brother, I'm standing on what I've been saying, what my manager said, what we've all said. 164 is still there. I don't have a fight yet on the table. We know who we're dealing with in Turkey Al-Sheikh. I'm not going to act like I don't want to fight you in real time. What I'm saying is, damn, bro, 164 is what I said. So why we keep on having this conversation? And then you respond, then the guy responds and goes, all right, so you're saying 164, we're going to make the fight, right? How do you feel about that?
That's telling me that we can do it. If we're going to do it, at 164, it's been put back in my lap at what I wanted. At this point, I'm either saying yes and shaking hands on it, or I'm saying I really don't want the fight, period, right now. Because that's what you're saying. If you finally got that other side to say, all right, 68 ain't going to happen. Let's do it at 64. Make a mega fight. Then I have no problem with that. But if you're not going to take it at 64, just stop talking about it, period.
because the minute you get out of the conversation,
right? So here it is right here, right? If I come to 140, we have a fight. That's Devin Haney. That's not, and I'm putting Jaleel in there as Shakur in this situation. Jaleel's not going back and forth, right? Now the other fighter is saying, I mean, this is not on Jaleel. Jaleel's saying, look, Jaleel wants to fight, coach. You know Jaleel wants to fight. He's your fighter, but he wants it at 164. He's the boss. He's earned it. He just had the biggest fight of the year against, Carlos Adames. He done whooped his ass, took the #1 spot. He's a lineal champion. He's the guy at 160. He's earned the right to be the boss at the table. He said 164, and now this guy keeps pushing him to go do something special at 168. He's like, I'm a 160 fighter. 164 is where it's at. I don't think it's on Jaleel. I don't think Jaleel is a bad guy here. I think Jaleel is the one actually in real time, if people want to really look at it, Jaleel's trying to make the fight. He's like, yo, I want to give you what you want. I want to give the people what they want, but I'm not derailing my plans. I've worked too hard to get in this position. I'm going to leverage my position, not against you per se, the 168 guy, but I'm going to leverage my position as being the boss at 160. And I'm going to collect these belts. I'm going to make these fights. This is what I always wanted to do, but I will pause that for a moment, come fight you at a catch weight in a way that I can get back to my game plan after I'm done with you, because I plan on beating you. So after I'm done with what I'm done with you, I want to be able to come back to my game plan. I feel like if I go all the way up to 168, I'm literally being derailed now. I'm not pausing my game plan. I'm derailing my game plan, and I'm not interested in doing that. Right, Coach?
And in that case, I know my son. He will put a stop sign in his Twitter. He will put a stop sign in 2027/2028. So that's saying I had this conversation for 2 years.
That it is what it is. I like it, Coach. I love it, Coach. Let me move on, man. Let me let my guy Blaze get it in, man. Blaze, what's good with you, family?
What's up, Play? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we good, man. My bad for the long hold, bro. Go ahead.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I was going in and out. My thing is this, man. You know, Shakur's number 3 on the pound for pound list. Devin Haney's number 7 on the pound for pound list. They got relations with Turkey, Riyadh, whatever, right? They look like if they make this fight, it's for 8 figures. It's millions of dollars on the line. They're both had great performances at their weights, respectfully. Devin at 147, Shakur at 140, right? The criticism that they get with the fans is what they tweet and what they say. Devin Haney with a list. They got fighters from 135 to 154. Shakur saying he'll fight people all the way at 154. But that's neither here nor there. The thing is neither Shakur nor Devin needs to fight each other. That's why they got leverage when they're in negotiations to make this fight happen. And so it makes sense for Zuffa to say, if they're working with Zuffa and if it's true that they're being signed, this is the fight that's going to make them the money. Or if this ain't the fight, that this fight makes them the most money, but whoever wins, if they got them under contract, they can make even more money with this fighter. So I think both of these fighters and both of their camps, as far as their teams that's negotiating, is doing a great job. And the compromise looks right at 144. You right? It's right for Devin if he accepts it, because it's for a whole lot of money. It's right for Shakur if he accepts it, because it's for a whole lot of money. So at the end of the day, it's like the YouTube streets. We go back and we criticize and we talk and all of that. But at the end of the day, let's apply both Shakur and Devin for putting themselves in a position to literally make a super fight right now against each other. Right? And they both, for whatever reasons, wasn't budget from where they're at. And apparently it looks like, you know, from all indication with the tweets, if Devin's willing to have a fight at 144, then Devin and Shakur is about to make a whole lot of money fighting each other. And I'll let my plane right there.
I love it. I appreciate it, man. Flyer, what's good with you, man? I know you popped up. What's good with you, brother?
Hey, man. Salute to everybody on the panel, man.
What's up, man? Assalamu alaikum, by the way, man. What's good?
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yeah, I think the problem that Shakur is having with the fans and everything is well, Devin, if we go back, you know, Devin was in 3 fights ago, Devin was in a fight where he looked like he was drained, and you know, he got taken advantage of by somebody who came in 3 pounds overweight and all of that stuff, you know, and he was under a lot of scrutiny, you know, for being at 135 as long as he was to try to become undisputed. And then on top of that, he tried to stay there even longer to make a fight with Gervonta Tank Davis. And then, you know, the whole situation with him and Shakur jumped off. You know, you got fans torn, you know, about who's the duck in that situation. But then fast forward to a little bit further, Devin looks good at 140, and somebody asked in the interview, they asked Shakur about him or whatnot, and Shakur said something to the effect of he don't care if Devin can weigh 170 pounds, and he'll still go in there and beat him and all of that stuff, and the weight doesn't matter. It's the skills and all of that stuff. So he talked all of that. And then, we had the situation, fast forward to the Conor Ben situation where he had that tweet back and forth with Conor Ben for what he did to Chris Eubanks Jr. And he actually said out his mouth, Chris Eubanks Jr. was half dead. So he said, I'll fight him half dead. So now that that's on that word, rehydration clause and catchweight is half dead. We remember that, and I think the fans remember that, and they think he's trying to, get an advantage that's going to hurt the other fighter, and with Devin, I'm pretty sure he's traumatized about the whole weight situation. Once he got to 147, he said he's never playing those weight games again, and so I think that's what most of the scrutiny for Shakur is with that half dead thing, and why, and that's the answer to why Devin is so adamant about not, accepting no rehydration clause or catch weight. And I'll land right there.
I see what you're saying, but I mean, everybody's different, and everybody has to. Devin's a grown man. He needs to manage that, right? Don't be half dead. If you're going to be half dead at 144, do not come down to 144. I'm telling you right now. You should not do that if half dead is part of the conversation, period. That's on him, you know what I mean? But I think Shakur has a legitimate reason to believe it's not half dead for Devin. I think Shakur has a reason to believe, like, yo, you just fought it. I just saw you fight Jose Ramirez. I was ringside in a very intimate situation. I saw you. You didn't look depleted. You looked great. I saw you at the weigh-in. I was there. I saw him at the weigh-in. Devin looked great. He got up on that scale. He looked better than I've ever seen him. He didn't look like it was hurting him at all for the 144 fight with Jose Ramirez. So, I mean, if it's hurting Devin that bad, though, I'm not Devin, then Devin better make the right choice for him and not allow himself to be in a situation where he's in the ring with a Shakur Stevenson half dead. Shout out to I'm Just Someone with the super chat says, Devin already said, if I come down to 144, we have a fight. And by the way, Shakur responded, yes. By the way, he said, so aren't we waiting on Shakur? Yeah, Shakur, I'm Just Someone responded legitimately. I posted it up here before. Do I still have it here? Can I find it? Hold on one second here. Let me see if I still have it up here. Hold on
In
one
that
second.
tweet, did he mention a time frame? Did he say a year, or am I crazy? Am I wrong?
No. And that's what he didn't. He just said yes. He said, so if we have a fight at 144, we pay home. Let me try to find it here. Hold on one second. Let me open it up just to show everybody real quick. And then I'm going to move on to the next person here. Hold on real quick here. Let me pull this down. Let me do this. Let me do this. Let me do this. And then let me do this right here. Share. And here is, you're right. So if I come to 144, we have a fight, right? To Shakur Stevenson, and Shakur responds immediately and says, yes. There's the answer right there. He's standing on his business. He's saying, bro, we definitely have a fight. No problem. If we can do the catch weight at 144, yes, we are confirming that there is a fight there. Shout out to Coach Cam in the building. HLD, what's good with you, family? I got to post up when HLD does this stuff. I got to post it up. What's good, HL?
What's going on, mi gente? What's going on?
Chilling.
Hey, I like that. I appreciate this. I appreciate it. We're
Always,
gloating
bro.
today. We're gloating.
Always, man. We're gonna roll it out, man. I think this conversation right here is another conversation to have, by the way, because I'm leaning towards Amanda Serrano, bro. She is the GOAT, bro. She is, in my opinion. We'd have to lay him down side by side, but I think you just can't help but acknowledge what she's done. And I think a lot of it has to do with, unfortunately for Claressa, it's not about Claressa not being good enough. It's about the opportunities aren't there at those big divisions for her to show and prove what Amanda's had the opportunity to prove at these lower divisions that's just full of so much more competition. Would you agree with that, AJ?
Yes or no, because she was very obscured for the majority part of her career, man. I mean, she was the opportunity was there. It's just that she was not given any spotlight at all, and so the spotlight now is able to shine, and everything that she's done is now coming to light.
Right, well, no, I'm saying it on the reverse. I'm saying that you got to give Amanda Serrano her flowers because she's what she's accomplished. But I mean, I don't think Clarissa's been afforded the same opportunity. She just doesn't have the competition. She doesn't have the dance
Yeah, but
partners.
she's been given the cosign by all the big shots in boxing since day one. Amanda never had that.
Right. What I'm saying is, I'm saying Clarissa's had the light. Clarissa's had.
Well, she hasn't had the competition. That is,
she hasn't had the competition. So when we have to sit here and have a conversation right now about who's more impressive, it's hard to not give Amanda Serrano her flowers. Yeah. Right, because she's just done so much. Whereas Clarissa's done what she's done. She's unified. She's a multiple weight class division undisputed champion. She's on, she's just very decorated with accolades. But Amanda's just kind of put it in work. Anyway, I don't want to hold it up. I got people waiting in the back. Yeah. Let's talk about this where we're at right now with this Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Keyshawn Davis love triangle situation that's going on right now, where Shakur has made his piece a long time ago about where he's at, 144, or I'm on to my next one. Seems like Devin, it doesn't seem like, I think it's, we can't argue that Devin Haney and Bill Haney have circled the block, right? And the guy who was on the block, who had what they needed, said, this was my price point. They said, man, we good, man. We going home. That guy said, all right, peace. But here that guy is circled the block, and he's looking like, what the hell? What you doing here? I thought you said you didn't want this. Man, come on, man. I need what you got, man. But you got to work on these numbers, man. I don't really. Not only do I need to not work on my numbers, but you clearly want this bad. So you better hope I don't put another number on it. So I'm not going to do that because I got respect for you. But my number is my number. Are we barbecuing? Are we milding? Are you going to shit or get off the pot? How do you feel about it at this point?
There's a little bit of everything going on. For me personally, I can't stand anything of this catch weight and. I'm not a believer in that at all. But at the same time, I think the Haneys, they threw out the bait, and Shakur is biting. Because I mean, if you realistically, can he make the one? I mean, he only has to make the 144. It's not like he cannot come, and rehydrate to where he needs to. So I mean, what did he weigh in when he last time fought? Was it 145? Was it
146? He said, yeah,
146. So he's got to, be in the sweat box another half hour, and he'll be good to go. So he's still young, So I think they threw out the bait and Shakur's biting, but I don't like this whole catch weight thing. I think it's BS. I think it's a bit cowardly by anyone. You going to take the guy out on top of you? Go get it. Go get it and stop it. I respect Bud in that respect 100%. I respect him because he never played that game. He made it old school. He went up. No, none of that crybaby shit that this guy's doing. I don't appreciate what Shakur's doing. I seem like every time there's someone who, that he if he's maybe bigger than them, faster than them, or they just a front foot fighter. Yeah, I'm willing to do that. But whenever there's another, maybe a bigger guy or a skillful guy, he has hesitation, and I don't appreciate that.
You're
right. Hey, right now, are we gonna get anything with that Shaki fight?
I don't know. I mean,
are we gonna get the Roach fight?
Well, Roach is. They said they're gonna fight. Roach is getting ready to fight.
No, I'm just saying it's already what, June. He fought Tio in January. Come on now, I want to know where you're moving. I want to know.
Fighting Zepeda, bro.
Yeah, well, do something, my man. Do something.
He said Roach is gonna be he said it's gonna be weird to fight him.
Whatever.
No, that's not what he said. I'm gonna pull it up. He said we're fighting. That's my guy, but I'm gonna whoop his ass.
All I'm gonna say, my guy that I've been always backing, Tio, has 3 times fought the #1 guy champion in his division, pound for pound fighters, 3 times, and 3 times underdog. Who's gonna have the nuts? No, he didn't. He didn't. He beat Loma, he beat Taylor, and he lost to this guy. So don't play yourself. Your guy's the one who was face down, ass up, and we saw that. Now, the bottom line is this guy, when is he gonna let his nuts hang? When is he gonna play the game that, yo, man, maybe I might be a little bit on the disadvantage of a fight. They don't want to do that. They don't want to do that.
Quick question. Also, what about with Conor Benn? He made that decision with Conor Benn to make that fight and had a 10-pound rehydration clause in there. He was
All
gonna
that
go up.
stuff.
Yeah, he
That's
was
that's
gonna go up. He
cowardly.
was ready to go up to what 154 to fight Connor.
No, man, that's just like I said. Yeah, he's a front foot fighter. Blah blah. Like I
Yeah.
said, you know what I mean.
So
So
the
I'm
weight
not.
and
I
that's bigger than
respect the
Devin.
skills. I respect this young man. He's badass. But the way this is moving, I'm not liking it, man. All this barking, yo, man. I know that Teal's gonna move up to 147, and he ain't gonna be asking for a rehydration clause. He ain't gonna ask for no damn catch weight. He's gonna go at it, win, lose, or draw, and let his nuts hang.
And
When is
fight.
Shakur gonna do that? When is Shakur
Oshaki
You know,
gonna
said
do
they
that?
all the same
and
size,
putting
man. He
people
said
in
they
front
all
of
around the
people. You
same
know,
size.
Oshaki. Now he want you to
Bro,
fight his
no,
little.
man.
He want you to fight his little brother. Then now he's saying, okay, now his team is saying, put what's the name in front of Shakur? Davis. You
No,
know,
I don't. Look,
Keyshawn. Now you want you to
I'm
fight Keyshawn
already.
before it,
I'm not.
like he's the
I'm not a fan of any of these rehydration clauses and catch weights, man. I'm just not a fan of it. I mean, you know what? I could be a fan of the rehydration clause to maintain the way bullies that try to be over the top like we've been seeing a lot of these guys do. But but to have, I think what the Haneys did is they threw the bait, they played it so that maybe they don't throw in. They try to throw in a rehydration clause on top of it. Oh, it's only the 144. No rehydration clause. Yeah, we could do that. And I know they can. And they're
right.
going to rehydrate to
It,
175, 160, whatever the heck they're going to get to. They're going to be okay.
172.6.
yeah, but
They're going to be
throw a
okay.
clause.
They're going to be okay. They're going
I
to be
think they're gonna hit
okay.
him with a clause.
They're
Yeah,
not
but
going
if they come back and say
Shakur said there's no-
rehydration clause, it's going to be nasty work by Shakur.
No, I'm gonna cook. Listen, if Shakur does that at 144 and puts a rehydration clause, he's getting cooked by me. Like
That'll
that's
be the Tank
ridiculous.
Davis special that he did to Ryan
He's
Garcia.
legitimately already confirmed that there will not be. That's the whole thing about 144 was there won't be a rehydration clause. That was the whole point he made. He said that. So, but I'm gonna say this, man. There's something about having the leverage, and there's something about being sought after, right? It's like you cannot. I just, for me, I can't process me being who I am, anybody dictating the terms when they're coming to me. Like, I don't get that, right? I don't get you getting to tell me I ain't shit if I don't come fight you in your division and you're looking to fight me. I find that to be a weird thing that's happening right now. The conversation's hard for me to have I can't be genuine with you if I can't say to you that the core has doubled down. 135, 140. Devin's a great fighter. 147, rehydration clause. If you guys are pushing me to do it, no rehydration clause at 144. Jay Prince has had a respectful conversation between two players, between Jay Prince and Bill Haney on the front of the world, and said, here's where we are. Looks like that just ain't going to happen right now. We'll just do that later when Shakur is ready. The Haneys have circled the block, bro.
Mm-hmm.
How is the onus on Shakur to be on, how's it on him to just
No, that's business. That's business. Right. I get it. But no, competition-wise?
Well, hold on. I'm not only saying the business part. I'm saying I've got plans on doing things here at 135, 140, bro. You did your thing at 135 all the way until you almost died, respectfully. Nobody couldn't get you to move off your needle. How am I not allowed to do my thing where I'm comfortable at, and I should leave my thing alone to come in your world and fight you to prove what?
But I think the main thing is all the barking. Why are you even talking to Conor Ben about? Why are you even talking to Conor Ben about 154 and shaking hands on something like that? But then 154 is bigger than 147. So for you to even get to do this, even if you're fronting, you can't just keep barking and you're not biting anything. That's my whole point. Quit barking. Stay in your division. Don't.
And he did the same with Ryan Garcia too.
Yeah, quit barking. Just do what you do.
Ryan said he wanted to fight me. Ryan, you're saying you want to fight me.
Then stop playing. Like my man just said, you talking about Conor Ben and stuff. So which way is it?
Wait, hold on. Ryan ain't playing when he said he would come down to 140 to fight Shakur, and Shakur asked him for 144. He was like, "Yo, bro, let's do it at 144." He's like, "Nah, I'm gonna come down there at 140." Is Ryan barking?
Nah, that was barking. That was cap. That was cap.
Okay, so
his dad, and they already said they're not doing they're not going to do the Tank Davis special no more.
Okay, I'm cool with that. I think by the way, shout out to Ryan for not being a dumbass, because I thought that was crazy when he said he was going to go down to 140.
But you're not holding Shakur accountable. Barking, he's barking to wanting to fight 154 guys. What the hell are you talking about?
No. Listen, first of all, we got to take everything separately. We can't let Conor Ben's situation bleed into the Devin situation. It's unfair, right? Shakur's acknowledging I'm seeing in Conor Ben
Devin's more
a
accomplished
fighter
than
who
Conor.
can't really get busy with me. But I'm doing it for a reason. My reason. You don't got to co-sign it. But my reason is he did what he did with Chris Eubank. I'm checking the energy. I don't like what he did with Chris Eubank. So, Conor, if you really feel like you like that, by the way, he always had the rehydration on Conor because the whole point of it was rehydration. That was the whole point.
But 10 pounds. 10 pounds.
Fine, whatever it is. But I'm just saying, Shakur has never said I'll just fight him at 154. And then, by the way, we also have to acknowledge when somebody thinks about something and comes back with something different. We got to acknowledge that. We got to acknowledge when somebody, Terrence did it. Canelo, I believe in weight classes. I'm not trying to do that. Then he came back. Yo, I seen it. I could do this. I want Canelo now. No problem.
Yeah, like Haney just
did.
did.
Shakur could have been very excited, caught up in his hubris, and said, yo, this guy's trash. I'll come fight him at 154. Then he thought about it. I was like, hold up, I ain't gonna lie. Not that I think this guy's gonna beat me, but bro, I'm not trying to go all the way up to 154 or anything like that. I got a career. I'm not gonna derail it. Derail my career. So I'm taking that back. I thought about it. Here's where I'm at with it. What's the problem?
I thought, but is that tweet that you showed, is that today or when was that?
That was today. Just recently.
All right, so then we're barking too much. It's a done deal. Anything else that changes? Anything else that changes on Team Shakur better not come back. Oh, my boss from Houston telling me we got to have a rehydration clause and crap like that.
And let me say one thing also. Going back to when all this came when Devin was undisputed, it came down to the money. He offered him 25%. He thought that was too low.
Well,
me thinking
of what? That was nothing.
I mean, hold on. That's what I'm saying. Hold on. Let me finish. That's what I was saying. So I think even in that fight, being as big as it would have been for undisputed, that 25% would have been more money than he made in his whole career.
No, he wouldn't.
Then on top of that, you get all, if you figure you're gonna beat him, you get all the belts. He went and did what he had to do to collect them. You got one shot on a guy that you figure you can beat. 25% is still going to be more than what you ever made in your career, and you get all the belts. But then you go back and petition for one of the belts.
We don't. That's not how it works. And plus, 25% of what?
But I'm saying I'm pretty sure that
25% of what sounds like something smart to say, but when you think about the fact that the percentages don't change when the amount of guarantee or money changes, it's still the same.
If Devin Haney's making $4 million for that fight, I'm gonna get $1 million.
The percentage will stay the same. The percentage of whatever it is going to be the same.
You're a sucker if you sign a blind deal like that. You are a pure sucker.
We're saying, but you're talking about an undisputed title.
Nah, that's not the way that works.
Let's put some perspective.
The WBC.
Hold on. Let Ray land something.
Yeah, the perspective on that was he gave him two offers prior to that, which were money amounts.
No,
there was there was a 2.5. It was a 2.5 and some other deal after that. And after that deal, the percentage 2.8, right? And then the percentage came in, which they thought would be negotiated as a higher rate, because the fact that they offered him that much mean that they were negotiating already with Top Rank on the fight, and they felt that there was enough money for him to make 2.5 or 2.8. So that means that he would have made probably over $3 million. So that means that 25% would have been easily a bag for him. And that's what he was saying. Hold on. At the time of Shakur's career, that would have been his biggest payday. That's
his biggest payday.
Man, you guys don't know math, bro. So you're telling me that Devin Haney was going to be making $12 million?
Oh my God.
Go ahead.
Bro,
you know math?
No, bro. 25%.
Let's say that fight generates $50 million.
Time out. You say that the purse, whatever they contracted out in the fight, if it's
25% is not going to change. You said.
Okay.
Wait. Hold on. Wait.
Clay, you got it. Clay, I'm going back on mute. Clay, you got it.
I just want to be honest and say that I don't care. I don't think this is an important point of the conversation. The reason I don't believe it is because yesterday's price ain't today's price. Shakur's already backed down from that situation and said he didn't think Devin was going to move that way. He thought he had more leverage on it. That negotiation came and went, bro. Today's price, whatever happened back then, does not justify what's happening today. It doesn't put the onus on Shakur Stevenson to take anything less than what he thinks he's worth today, or move in a way that doesn't benefit him today. The question of the conversation is, if Devin Haney wants to fight, which it seems like he does, Shakur is willing to give him a fight in a certain way. Here is the path to the fight. If you want it that bad, you concede. If you don't want it that bad, you move on. You feel me? If it's not that serious for you, it is, like we've all been around outside in these streets playing certain games, and we know what it is. When I got this thing, I don't care about whatever happened between us 5 years ago, bro. This thing is this price right now if you want it, because I don't got to give it to you. Now, we can negotiate, go back and forth for a little bit. You can tell me you got this. Come on, I'm going to come back. Let's negotiate. But at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, if I'm willing to take my thing off the table and put it back in my bag where it was at comfortably before we started having this conversation, you either want it or you don't. If you're going to return to the block, if you circle the block and you pop back up in front of my damn house, asking about this thing, you better be ready to pay for it or stop wasting my time.
Correct. But we got to call cap on Shakur, man. We got to. The talk is just that you got to call cap on it, man. You got to call cap.
Shakur where I need to lay in on him, and where I'm not like that. I'm not just because I don't like him on one aspect. I'm going to roll on him on everything. That's not the way I am. And
can I say something, Clay?
Wait. Before everybody goes, I just want to, as far as Coach Cam, I just want to be clear. Here's Shakur's position on the Lamont Roach situation, right? I'm not into faking beats with people I've been cool with for years, all for social media. I got integrity. I'm cool with this. One of one is Lamont Roach Jr.
Right.
I'm cool with Lamont Roach Jr., but I plan on whooping his ass when we fight. We're gonna rock out soon, champ. I'm cutting short. So he's made it very clear, like we fighting. He's not doing the we friends and I'm not fighting you thing. He's letting you know, like, that thing with me.
That's only with Keyshawn.
Yeah, that's only with Keyshawn. That's my guy, and y'all don't gotta love it, but that's not me across the space. That's me with my guy. You guys can shoot shots at it. It's okay. You don't like it. You think there's no room for it. That's y'all business. That's me and my guy came to an understanding. That's how we rocking out.
As far as today, Clay. So what is the argument? We seem like we got principles of the writing of the nature of the competition. They're done with that. All right. So it's 144, no catch weight. I mean, no rehydration. So it's 144. So then as far as the competition part, there's nothing holding this back. Now it's about the money, and that's about it, I guess.
Right. By the way, here's Shakur. Wait, hold on. Here's Shakur right here responding. Devin, who's conceded to a certain degree 3 hours ago, says, if I come to 144, we have a fight. And Shakur said yes, right? Now, also, here's Shakur also keeping it real right here, right? Where he says, Bill, you could trick the idiots on here, but you ain't tricking me. Y'all must need me right now. And he's laughing. That's Shakur just being frank about, like, y'all coming. Y'all have to.
Okay, but what does that mean when it comes to fighting?
What it means is, if you want to fight,
I don't think. Hold on, and I'll be honest.
That's the leverage.
And hold on, and I'll be honest. I don't know how Shakur is ranked over Devin in the pound for pound list because his resume is not better.
Yeah, but it's the leverage that they have right now.
Right.
Shakur, I mean, Devin Haney's choice. Really, and I know it's what Turkey wants, because he's got one fight left on his contract, and that fight was meant to be for Ryan Garcia.
That had nothing to do with this.
That is what is going. And so right now, Shakur sees it, and he's like, "You must need me to cash in that last one. That's why you need me. You want to fight Ryan Garcia, and you're not gonna fight Rolly either. So you want to fight maybe me, the smaller guy coming up." And maybe that's where you think you have at least a little bit more advantage than you have versus those bigger dudes.
I'm not all the way there with you, HL, with that, but I will say this, and I'm going to let Flyer jump in. I will say this, right? Even the Keyshawn Davis fight is not a turkey fight. Bill confirmed that on the Boxing Voice, that the Keyshawn Davis fight is a top-ranked situation. So the money is Shakur. All of the money is Shakur. It's not like there's money anywhere else. That's why they're beating on this guy's door, and they're letting Shakur understand, right? They're letting him know, like, the money's with you, champ. All right, if the money's with me, then that means I'm the money guy. I'm not even trying to be A side. I'm saying let's meet halfway. A side would be diabolical if I told you need to come down to 140 to fight me, right? But that's where the money's at, right? I'm not doing that though.
Who's out there? Who's out there? Who's out there that Devin Haney can cash in that last fight that he has with Turkey to the maximum? Who's out there? Who's out there that he can catch that last fight? That he can make that. I can make $12 million.
Let's not move the goalposts right now. Hold on. Let's not move the goalposts.
Wait. No, hold on, Ray. Let Frequent go.
Yeah. If we're gonna go by what the rumors are that Shakur signed a $60 million deal with Zuffa. Devin Haney the $100 million deal with Zuffa, and that Zuffa is trying to make them fight each other to get this money. So, I don't think it's a Turkey, I don't think it has anything to do with the 3-fight deal with Turkey or nothing like that. I think this is a Zuffa situation.
No, respectfully, we're not dealing with rumors right now. You went to rumors. We're not doing rumors. We're dealing with facts. The facts is what we're looking at here, which is the facts. The facts is what we're looking at. The rumors is 100 million. Is Bill went on to the show and wouldn't confirm with Champ's side, would not confirm that there's $100 million deal. That's not been confirmed. Nor has Shakur confirmed that he got a $60 million deal. What he did confirm was that the powers that be, quote unquote, which is Turkey, which is Zuffa, which is Saudi, whatever that money's coming from, have a fight they want Bill and Devin to be involved in that will make them a payday. And it's Shakur Stevenson. That's the fight. Not Keyshawn. Hold on. If they had $100 million deal, and I'm not saying they don't, but I'm saying if they had $100 million deal, then the fight wouldn't happen with Keyshawn Davis, wouldn't have to happen with Top Rank. It could happen over here because they got the money. But that's not the case. They're having to go across the street to Top Rank to make a fight with Keyshawn. I'm not saying there's no $100 million deal, but I'm saying we don't got no evidence towards that outside of circulating rumor. But we do know Bill's confirmed that the fight between him and Keyshawn has to be at Top Rank, and that the only fight, and I don't want to pull it up. If you want me to pull it up, I will pull it up on Champ's side, where he said the only fight right now that's on the table with these powers that be is Shakur. There's nothing else there for him. He said that.
Did you see Bill Haney's last interview though? His most recent interview is on Aki's channel. Did you see that?
The WBO did that with Keyshawn though.
Did you see that, Clay?
So what did it say?
He said that Zuffa. He specifically said Zuffa was trying to match him and Shakur up. Actually, I got it. I could present it if you want to look at it.
No. That doesn't.
Oh, because I got it's only 18 minutes long.
I literally just said the only fight that Zuffa wants to pay Bill for right now is Shakur. That's what I said. I'm not going against what you said. I literally said that's the fight. That's a payday for Bill. Shakur, though, has not come out and said his only payday is with Devin, right? He's saying, I'm willing to move on to my other options. Lamont Roach, I'm waiting on him and William Zepeda. Shaki Foster said he's willing to come to 140. That could happen. Not to mention, I'm a champion at 140. I can fight damn near anybody I feel like at 140. I've got these opportunities. Bottom line is, I'm not pressed like you. You're pressed.
No, but you don't make that kind of money fighting those guys, though.
I was saying that. I was saying that, Clay, to what y'all was saying about that 3-fight deal, the final fight on that deal with Turkey. To just say that no, it's not. It's clearly not that, because Bill said that it's Zuffa. He didn't. It's not that that last fight on that 3-fight deal.
You're separating them. You're separating them.
You're separating them. That's not that works, though.
Bill separated Turkey.
You can't. No.
We all know that Turkey is Zuffa.
He's got one fight left, and that's the difference between Devin Haney and Shakur.
Has nothing to do with
it does have everything to do with it. If you understand business, you got locked into a contract. You got a contract. He's got one fight left, and guess who doesn't have a contract? Guess who's not locked into nobody? Shakur Stevenson is a free agent, so he's not locked into nobody. So yeah, in that aspect, he has leverage. He has options. He has which way he wants to dance. Devin Haney has got one fight left that he needs to cash in on. And who's it gonna?
I mean, where you getting that from? Because you
where
said
is he?
you only
Where
go with
is
facts.
he?
Where you get that from?
My man, he's got a 3-fight deal. He's on his last fight.
Where you getting that from, bro?
My man, you want to
That
act
he
blah
has to
blah
cash
blah?
out.
Yeah.
That he
wait,
no,
hold
I'm
on.
talking about that he has to have that last fight.
Everybody chill. Everybody chill. Everybody chill. We're moving around in a lot of places, right? So, Flyer, I just want to be clear on your position. You believe that Devin Haney doesn't have to fight Shakur to make the money. He could do other things. He's choosing Shakur, is what you're saying.
No, that's
right?
not. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that Devin Haney doesn't have to fight the last fight on that deal with Turkey before he can get a deal with Zuffa. A fight, go into a fight deal with Zuffa.
Okay, wait, no, everybody quiet. I just want to have this out with Flyer. So say it again, Flyer. Don't cut him off. Flyer, go ahead.
Oh, I was saying that Devin, he's trying to say that Devin has to complete that last fight with that 3-fight deal with Turkey before he can go into this situation with Zuffa. But Turkey came out with a statement, you know, talking about how he was cutting back on fights and all of that stuff because of I'm guessing because of the situation in Saudi Arabia and the war and all of that stuff. But I think this situation don't have anything to do with that 3-fight deal that he have with Turkey. Like, as far as him saying that Devin has to do that before he can get the Zuffa deal, and that's why he's trying to fight Shakur.
All right, I grasp what you said, right? So this is what I'm going to say. Fine, right? Whether it has something to do with that 3-fight deal, like what HLD is saying, or whether it doesn't, like Flyer is saying, I don't know if that's the most important part or the protein or the meat of this conversation. The meat of this conversation is, according to Bill, which I'm going to pull up the video because somebody asked me to pull it up. Bill said, Champside asked him a very specific question. He said, with this Zuffa deal, is this a multiple fight deal or is this a one-off deal right now? And Bill responded and said, right now, it's only Shakur on the table with the money. He said there's nothing else on the table right now.
The one fight.
And he also confirmed, so he's basically making it clear, the only thing Turkey, Zuffa, whoever you guys want to, you know what I'm saying, say it is, the only thing that the money is offering him is Shakur. There's nothing else being offered to them. That's
what they want.
Because Turkey could lease out that contract to Zuffa if he wants to.
Oh my God!
Well, let me ask a question.
Just like Copper and Gilbertino.
Stop.
Let me ask a question.
Wait. Ray, stop. HLD, stop. Wait. If HLD believes that it's the 1-fight deal, that's HLD's prerogative. We don't have to argue it. If Ray, you feel differently, and Flyer, you feel differently, it's okay. That's two speculation perspectives on what's going on right now. We don't know anything for sure, because everything has started on speculation. The 3-fight deal, the rules to it, the dynamics of the deal, what's owed, what's not owed, who's doing this, who's doing that. That's fair play for anybody to take a position on how they see it. But what's
you're gonna play that clip
real though, what's real enough, and I'm not even going to share my opinion on it, right? Because it's not that important. What I'm going to say is what is consistent, though, what we all should be able to come to the common denominator of is that Bill Haney's made it clear what's in front of him in real time.
1 fight.
And that's what's important right now. What's in front of him in real time is this opportunity with Shakur to make money via the powers that be. And he's made it clear too that it's Zuffa, it's Turkey, it's all the same thing. He said
that's what they want.
It's a big fight. That's what we want. That's why he's pushing for it. Right?
You guys let me just say this real quick. Let me just say this real quick, y'all. Let me just say this.
Let Ray tap in.
I'm not like debating or telling LGD he can't have his opinion, Clay. What I'm saying is it's too many people talking at once. That's what I'm saying. Oh my God, stop, because I can't hear one person finish when the other person's cutting someone off. I'm just saying, like, it's just getting annoying. It's just show.
Yeah, I hear you, Ray. But if it's not part of the conversation, then just let me handle it. Because when you add your voice to it, you add to the noise. As much as you might be frustrating, you're just adding to the noise. So just have faith that I'm going to handle it and that I'll get in front of it. Definitely don't add to the noise, but add to the conversation if you want. And I'll be like, I'll make space for you to get in the conversation. But
okay, no doubt.
Just let me handle it.
Clay.
Yeah.
Hey Clay. My thing is, I still think the Devin Ryan fight brings in more money than Devin Shakur.
Absolutely.
Facts.
I know. So I'm just saying. So the money's there. He has a fight that he can get more money
But
But
on
he's
the
he's
already
tied
made
table.
his
up
That I
right
stance
think.
now.
He
clear.
don't want it. He don't want it.
He's
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
tied
but
just
up
he's
saying.
made
right
his
now.
stance. He's made his stance clear though on that, so we don't need to talk about that too much. Like Devin's made his stance, just like Shakur's made his stance clear at 144. Devin's made his stance clear at Ryan Garcia. It's very simple. Testing in a
Yeah.
certain way to give me the head, the heads up that we
Right.
doing business way, or no testing, just like Shakur, he's made it. So there's not even pushing that. Not to mention right now, arguably, Ryan Garcia and Conor Ben are in
Conor
straight
Ben.
up in the midst of
And
negotiations of trying to do
yeah,
something. So that's why it's not there right now.
yeah. That Conor
And
Ben would
Clay,
be
it
big
seems
too.
it really seems like the doors are opening up with Zuffa, that they are very open and make this whole league thing that everybody was there. Oh, you can't. No, that they're open to co-promotions of regular fighting with everybody else. It's not a league as we want to make it seem it today. It seems
Yeah,
like
it's
they're
not.
moving in that they're really moving steadfast on Plan B, which is all right. We don't have the Ali Act, like I've been saying. We're gonna move ahead and make fights. We're gonna
Yeah.
make fights regardless of what it is.
Yeah, Nick J, nobody's playing dumb. That's not what's happening. We're speaking the truth. The reality is Devin wants that fight one way, which is fair play to Devin to want that fight with his stipulations that make him comfortable. But he does not want the fight if it does not come that way. So it's fair to say right now, Devin's not interested in that fight. He's not. He's not interested in the fight that's in front of him, which is what Ryan is willing to do, which is I'm going to concede and comply to the rules of whatever sanctioning body or athletic commission is putting out there for the fight, but I will not overextend myself to make you happy and do anything extra. If you can get the WBC to mandate this, or the athletic commission involved in the conversation to make it to where that's how it has to be, I will concede and comply to their rules, but you will not dictate to me what I'm going to do. I'm not overextending myself for you. I don't need you. Literally, I'm walking into a big payday with Conor Ben. So later on, maybe when the well runs dry and there's no other options for me, maybe I'll be a little bit more open-minded to doing something I didn't want to do right now. Devin, on the other side, has said, I'm cool with that, bro. We just ain't fighting right now. I'm on to my next one. Therefore, Ryan Garcia is off the table for Devin Haney right now.
Right now.
It is what it is. We can't have our cake.
Hey, Clay. Oh, can I just say something real quick?
Yeah,
It's been a while.
bro.
Enjoyed everybody's banter. That's great. Number one, I hate doing this, but it's diabolical that we didn't even get to 100 likes yet, because at one point we had like 120 people on, and
that's messed up.
diabolical.
Yeah, everybody hit the likes for sure.
And that's terrible. Secondly, just wanted to give out some news while you guys were bantering. So, Clay, you're right. Looks like what McCallan has done is stop the negotiation with Jai, because he's been promised he doesn't plan on leaving the WBC at all. And he's been promised, and he's waiting on an offer by Samson Lekowitz, that Samson Lekowitz is supposed to call Don King tomorrow. That just happened while you guys were doing the bantering. So we'll see who Jai's next opponent is. My guess is it's going to be Sislak, who's the interim WBC, because he's ranked number 4. And then Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury looks like it's going to end up at SoFi Stadium in LA. So Dana was right again. Anyways, go ahead and continue, sir.
Yeah.
Just wanted to give those news.
Yeah. I mean, look, man, it is what it is, man. It's like I'm a prophet or something, right? No, at the end of the day, we just reading the ring, man. We just.
So is he vacating it? I'm a little bit confused. So what's happening with that negotiation?
I think
he wants to keep it. He's
wants to
saying,
keep it
I'm
up,
not
yeah.
letting that shit go.
Yeah, so he's gonna fight
But
David.
he's also saying, you motherfuckers keep talking about how you're gonna give me an offer. I'm waiting for this offer.
All right.
When
He's
is
waiting
this
to see
offer
what the
coming?
money is like. We're gonna see what the money's like, and if it's better than the Jai, then he'll do that. If it's not, then he ain't gonna go that route. Okay, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
yeah.
Facts. I think that's what's happening. He'd rather keep it, but clearly he wants to see what the offer is going to be. Guys, it's about that. It's damn near that time for me. I know there's a couple of us up on here. Coach Bernard, did you want to tap into this at all?
Now I think everybody hit their point. I'd like to see the fight. I guess I'm getting tired of people being able to be what they call it, religious killers. One minute they a gangster, and the next minute they religious and got prophetic ways. So I'm just tired of the BS.
Right.
Yeah, hopefully we see a fight.
Mhm.
It sounds like we're close to seeing a fight. Devin seems like he's listen, and it is what it is. We talked about this before, and I told you guys, if Devin has other options, take it. But if the money is with Shakur, which it looks like it is, he gonna have to play ball. He gonna have to concede. He's gonna have to meet Shakur halfway, or Shakur. I mean, it's just playing out that way in real time, especially on the back end of Devin saying, so if I go to 144, we fighting, right? That means that says a lot.
Let me ask you, Clay.
That speaks on a lot.
Let me ask you, Clay. At 144, he's going to be able to rehydrate at anything he wants.
Mm-hmm.
Is there really any disadvantage for Devin Haney then with
no?
This?
In my opinion, no.
I don't see it. Other than that, you're giving in to the demand, right? Other than that, saving your face and all that bullshit. But really, in competition, I think Devin Haney can make the 144, make it 140, 100%. Right on the money, right on the banger. Oh, maybe I missed away for an hour. Okay, let me a 0.2, 0.3. Maybe I have to go back at it. All right, no problem. I don't think it's going to be an issue because he's going to rehydrate to 170, so he'll still be at his full advantage. I don't see no disadvantage at all. I think they just threw out the bait. I threw out the bait. As long as they don't come back with a rehydration clause, that Shakur bid on it. And he's like, bro, that's 144, bro. I'm gonna
can I add to what you're saying, HLD, and be diabolical and really stir this panel up before we leave and piss everybody off? Let me tell you the kind of person I am. I'm gonna be real with you. Look, we all had our life experiences to take us down the path to get us to where we are today, and the way we see things and the way we read the room when we walk into rooms, all based on our experience. I think on the back end of what HLD says, that them trying to make Shakur come up to 147, low key, they're kind of showing their cards at being a little nervous, because if the reality is that they can make 144 and be okay, then the truth of the matter is they want the advantage over Shakur at 147 because they know how competitive it can be at 144. I'm just saying, just an even playing field of arguments, to be fair, to say fair play, to say that if you want to be honest with yourself and ask yourself an honest question, if it's not a problem for Devin to go down to 144, then why make it such a big deal for Shakur to come up to 147? That's all I'm saying, right?
That's a good question.
It's just debate. It's just debate.
I'm with y'all. Yeah, I like that point. But I just wanted to say that same thing, that I like what HLD said. What you said is dope too, Clay. I just want to say this.
I'm saying fair play, Nick J. Fair play.
I think HLD is on to something. I think what? I never even thought to mastermind. I'm gonna tell you. Hold on. We talked to Bill. I'm gonna be quick. We talked to Bill, and Bill mentioned 144 ain't shit. We make 146 easy, right? So basically, him saying that sounds like he was masterminding this, and I'm starting to think like, yo, HLD might be on to something, right?
Carmani, bro, I know Bill.
So
masterminding what though?
To make Shakur do the 144 and get him up to 147.
Yeah. You already offered the 144 rip.
Yeah, but there's not going to be rehydration clause.
Nothing else to it. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Okay.
But let's keep in mind for these fighters as well that
it's going to come down to skills.
It's easier to fight heavier than it is to come down. So people have to keep that in mind. Shakur, if he fights at 135, don't think the night of the fight he's at 135.
Right.
So he's fighting at that heavier weight. So people have to keep that in mind. When you dehydrate yourself, people understand you can put that money. I mean, you can put that fluid back on in your muscles, but you got to understand you lose a lot of stuff in your head. It's what brain fluid as well. So people have to really keep that in mind. You don't put that back on that easy within 24 hours. It just doesn't go that route. So
but
there is a
dehydration with this weight class for them. It's not extreme.
Right. I'm saying so. Yeah, so I'm saying these guys. Shakur fights at 146 anyway. When he fights, he's gonna fight at 145. He fights over 140 when he fights at 135. He's over 140 when he's fighting. So we have to keep that in mind and just understand.
Devin Haney is minimum 165. Minimum.
Let's not make light of
it's
weight.
about that time for me, guys. It's about that time. I gotta go 3 hours. I appreciate you guys, man.
Appreciate you, brother.
Very appreciate you, Coach Cam. Thanks for coming up, by the way. Thanks for Coach Bernard Hackett, HLD, Ray, everybody who came up 444. If I'm forgetting your name, my bad. Fight Sports, everybody. Shout out to the super chats in the building. Hold on a second. It already said, okay, I already got all the super chats. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support, man. I apologize, you guys, man. Bill says that he's going to make it up. He's going to make it up to the channel, and he plans on coming up here. I'll get communication on that, whether it'll be tomorrow or Thursday, but this week supposedly he's going to make it happen. So we can have that conversation, ask a lot of these questions. I thought that the build was great, man. I see everybody's point of view, man. What I would encourage everybody is, yes, there's multiple ways to skin a cat. When there's one ball in a room and there's 20 people surrounding the ball, everybody sees the ball from a different angle and sees different things. You know what I'm saying? I think multiple things can coexist in the same space. I think multiple opinions, and I appreciate you guys for respecting each other, for allowing ideas to coexist in the same space. The reality is, though, we all want the same thing when it's all said and done, when the smoke is clear. I think we all can agree. We hope a fight comes out of all this bullshit, right?
All right. All right, panel. Nice to meet you guys.
Hey, Bill, come on. You owe the channel that visit, Bill.
Yeah,
man. What's up.
Bill will do it, man.
We got a lot of questions. We got a lot of questions, Bill, and I know you got the answers. Trust me. One thing I know you ain't short of is answers, so I can't wait to hear them.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Thank you guys, man. Thank you guys, man. Until the next one, man. It's that ATP Combat Media Show, and at this point, we out.
Top like, hello, yeah, I can never doubt myself, I know better. All of you critics be acting like you know better. Blowing the smoke, but I know when the dust settles that I'm in my element. It's evident that it's nice. Breaking my back to make it out, got me feeling like pain. I ain't never need your help, I know you wishing me well. A penny for your thoughts, but seeing no change. Snap for the sun like Diddy. The riches got a mad ass son, I'm like Billy. I ain't never switch up, whole team with me. But known for my city like OAGZ. Set the pace as long as you finish. Consumers find a way inside your business. Babylon, they try to dabble in it and they hate the fact that they may have to witness. You tryna aim for the top like this, and you're in your element with a fire like this, and they hoping you fall and they praying you miss, but it's all in the risk I